How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the NASL. Your guy, the host, G the Kaio here. I'm going to be taking over the desk today. We also have two wonderful people here. We got Private Dancer and we got Ryan. How are you doing today, guys?
I'm doing great. It's been a long time since we've seen Brian. We've missed you as through the
yeah, once in a
TT there.
once in a blue moon, I'm here. Yeah,
It's been a while, but man, I'm excited. We got some good matches.
Absolutely.
Anticipated Valley and Insomniacs going to be going up tonight against Vec Fantasy Mains and Ethereal, and we had some great matches last night as well, some great series. So I'm really excited. It looks like a lot of these teams have not lost a step since that little break with the NACT and coming back pretty strong, and I'm really excited to see how well we do tonight.
Yeah, no. What's your take on it, Ryan? I know you haven't
yeah, I
been
think
here
it's
for a
gonna be.
while. But...
Yeah, I've been obviously catching up a little bit. I mean, luckily for me, you know, the season took a break because of the Challenger tournament, so I didn't miss a lot that's got to do with the league, obviously. But I think these two games we have today are going to be a little bit of like deciders because you know two bottom of the table teams are playing tonight, Ethereal and Vec Fantasy, so. I think for them it's really going to be like a proving point, especially against the Valley. You know, Vec Fantasy really going to put up their A game because I see it's going to be maybe a 2-0 if we're going to look at it realistically.
Right. I mean, hey, these are some again some heavy hitters that did come. I mean, originated here and placed pretty high on the NACT today. So we're gonna see what they can do in the NASL. Man. I mean, the Valley, so many of these teams have changed, Private.
Yeah, it's been one of my my talking points in the back since we've come back in the squad league. So many of these teams changed rosters, are juggling new compositions, maybe not fighting with the exact same people that they built that synergy with for all those weeks during the Challenger tournament. And some people really starting to shine through some of these matches that we've been having, especially when it comes to what was it, Ackerman we saw last night, a very dominating performance against the grand finalist team First Blood. Like, yeah, not just like victories, but very dominating counter picks, the execution that they went with. It was really enthralling to watch, and a lot of these teams have kind of been juggling around, especially Team Sexy as well. They've kind of become these
almost.
Very it's I don't even want to. It's interesting. I always consider them underdogs, and they prove me wrong because they handle, I want to say, these roster juggling around the best that I've ever seen. Still able to get a victory over New Wave yesterday, which to me is super surprising, just based on a lot of work and cohesion that and the skill level that Nicolette, that best player, and them have on that team, and then just bringing in newer players on that roster and still being able to form this really tight-knit and cohesive compositions and teams. They didn't go away with the entire series victory, but still taking a win off of New Wave is still something to talk about. But like I said, like all these teams, it's been new and exciting for me as a caster too, just to see how these teams have kind of transformed in even just the last week.
Yeah. You know, and we're gonna the games, the teams are doing a ping check right now, chat, just in case you guys know. This is the NASL, which we are on season 3, week 5, day 10. So we're about halfway through the season, you know, so like there's still plenty of games to come. We have, of course, if you guys wouldn't mind taking a look, our prize pool for this season is $1,500. I think it's also 50,000 diamonds as well. So there's big payout, but we also do have a GoFundMe because we did raise 1,000 last season. We're hoping to possibly raise a little bit more money this season because all of this there's no sponsorship. It's all done by the communities, the NA communities coming together. So there, of course, there's a command in the chat. T-Rex I see T-Rex there. He could probably pull it up for you guys. We get you that link in the chat. It's also in the link in the description of the video. And like, I don't want to talk about it too much, private, but we might have some pretty big debuts today.
Yeah, there have. I'm still not sure how. Well, I mean, I can see it now in the back. I don't want to spoil it for everybody, but we do know that there was some juggling around that happened during the Challenger tournament, with BTK being beaten in the top 16. And Area 77 being beaten. Like, those were probably two of the fan favorites to go all the way. Got taken out in the top 16, and both teams did a lot of soul searching, I guess you can call it, and have been really juggling around their rosters a bit. Some of those went on to what is now known as Ackerman, took over for Area 77. Some of those have gone over to the Valley. The Valley also, from what I'm seeing now, has claimed another spot for somebody very special right now that we're going to be seeing the debut of. I'm not sure if he hasn't competed in the squad league yet, so it's going to probably be his first showing here, but I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat is going to know who he is when they see the name. That's all I want to give away for it. I'm sorry if that seems like deliberately cryptic.
Yeah.
What's
so we're gonna see the names in 5 minutes, right?
Right. I mean, we might be seeing the names. That's definitely true. And I mean, our first session of this day, you can see it below us. We got Vec Fantasy Main versus the Valley. Both teams that I think can put up quite a fight, to be honest. And Private, Ryan, let me go to Ryan. I've talked to Private quite a bit here. You've been playing a little bit, so you got a little bit of what's going on in this current season. What do you think's going to be a current meta pick right now?
Well, we've seen the meta shift, of course. We've seen what are the most popular heroes right now? We've seen Faramis really rise the ranks. He's been the absolute game changer right now, and I think he's as OP as Julian was once released, as well as Valentina once released, and I think that really turned the tides. We see a lot of unusual combinations being developed, like Diggy with Faramis and so on. That really changes the pace of the game, how you control the game, and I think it changes how you play Mobile Legends entirely. So yeah, I'm excited to see that once again, as I'm being a Faramis main for a while before even the revamp. And yeah,
he was a Faramis main before it was cool.
Yeah, I like to see that more. I mean, we see these unusual supports coming into play as well. We see Atlas Tank again, being popular. So we'll see. Obviously, I think the ban range has increased as well quite a bit. So it's obviously going to be one or two, very strong picks escaping, and it's just going to be like that mental game. What role can you cancel out?
Well, the teams are ready. So without further ado, we're going to be jumping into some bad picks here. And I'm going to let Private lead this off here.
Well, looks like we missed. It's not showing the fifth player on Vec Fantasy Main for some.
They must have got kicked out right at the end. Law. How do you leave right at the end?
That's not a good handicap. Right,
apparently, Vec Fantasy Main very confident in their ability.
Yeah.
4v5 the Valley.
They definitely said we don't need that extra person. S5. It's more of a crutch than something that's going to be helping us right now. Yeah, but we are going to get into we're back at the caster desk, and we're as soon as we figure this out and find out who got lost on the way to the banning phase. I'm really eager to see this because Vec Fantasy Main actually put up a pretty decent fight into NACT, made it to the top 32. We already know that the Valley made it to the top 8, eventually getting eliminated in a surprise finish by Team Sexy. So we do know that the Valley's going to have something to prove here. Definitely going to want to come up strong because not only are they a great team and they did kind of get eliminated at the top 8, but here in the squad league, they've been probably the most how do you say, dependable team. They're always here on time. They always make sure that their matches, like, you never really see a lazy match out of them, or like they win the first match and then the second match they want to experiment with something. No, it's that's what has them in the lead right now. That has them in first place, is that it's always 2-0. They're always like 110% each match. Let's go home early type of play styles here, and that's what I really like about them. It's all business with them.
Yeah, I was actually trying to see if I could possibly pull up the actual standing, you know, to see kind of where everybody's at, and I must have misplaced it because I really want to go over that. Do you wouldn't happen to have a quick access to that? Would you, Private?
I have the standing
like
as of
cool.
us going into the weekend. I don't have them updated from the matches that happened last night. But as we went into the weekend, let me just make sure. Yeah, as we went into the weekend, in first place, it's the Valley, 4-0, 4 series to nothing. 8, they've taken 1 loss of the entire squad league. And that's why they're up at the top with 11 points. Following next is going to be Insomniacs, who we're going to be seeing here tonight in the second match against Ethereal. They have 9 points. They've got a 7-3 matches or games, and then their series are 3-1. Followed up behind that, First Blood, who we do know took a loss last night. So I know that they have probably getting juggled around here as well. In fourth place, it was a New Wave, but they did take a victory last night as well, so they're going to be moving up from there. Deuce Knights, I believe, took a loss last night. They were in 5th place for the NASL. And they're going to be, oh, there we go. And we got them up. Nice. Area 77, no longer Area 77. That is changed to Ackerman. They have gone through a little bit of a rebranding, soul searching, have come out a brand new, with the same old, like I said last night, same great taste, half the calories now that they have Zia on the team as well. And some of the same great faces that you know from Area 77. Simpsons as well, following up on number 6. And then I guess, oh, that was a tie. I thought my eyes were going blurry for a second, but yeah, there are 2 7th places right now because they are tied. Team Sexy, I do expect Team Sexy to start moving up. They did take a loss last night to New Wave, but I mean, how many teams don't at this point take a L to New Wave? They've been, especially since all of their players are here now, they don't really have to split their dedication from the Legal of Tom and stuff in South America. Now they can be 100% here, so it's going to be, as you're going to start seeing New Wave move up, and I expect Team Sexy to start moving up as well. And then rounding out the list at the bottom, we have Vec Fantasy Main and Ethereal, 2 of the newcomer teams that have had kind of a it's the growing pains of coming in. This is what the difference is from just doing scrims to actually these league matches against some of the top teams in NA. And I guess, and that's what you're seeing here with these guys. I mean, it's more power to them because they have the tenacity to keep coming back, to keep learning, and keep trying to get better. And we are going to see both Vec Fantasy Main and Ethereal trying to claim some real estate here tonight in their matches against the Valley and Insomniacs.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be seeing. I mean, even though we did see Vec Fantasy Main a little bit on the lower bracket, things can change. Like, it's been a whole month. Like, if you've been really training, you could possibly be changing some tides here, but who knows? Without further ado, I think we have the lineup ready And
He finally.
and let's finally get into a real game, chat.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start this off. It is gonna be VFM's first pick, first ban, first pick. So I'm definitely gonna be interested to see what they're gonna be pulling out here. If they're kind of adjusting with the meta, or if they've kind of like still gonna stick to those comfort picks. We do know that a couple of rounds of nerfs and buffs just hit this week, or actually it's Sunday. So last week they hit. And so it has kind of changed. I don't really think it's too much. A lot of players have kind of it wasn't too bad of nerfs. It wasn't like some completely landscape changing nerfs that kind of happened there, but we do see the Akai taken out of there, that heavy spin that he can do, and especially the amount of damage that he can tank, the way he can upset engages. It's just sometimes it's just better to take him off of there instead of trying to develop your entire comp to have to deal with that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's always like the Kai and Balmon like Beyblade battle, like all the time. Like if there's a Balmon, there's an Akai. So I definitely feel you there. What's your take, Ryan?
Yeah, I think the Akai one ban was good because we know Guapsi special is very good with the tanky junglers. He's been very comfortable on Akai especially, and that's definitely a very good semi-targeted ban as well. I mean, we still see Akai. He's been getting like these light nerfs, but we still see him at the top level, and I don't think it's gonna be changing anytime soon just because of his kit, you know. And Valentina is gonna be actually the first one being banned from Valley's side. And
yeah.
One interesting thing to note here is last time in the squad league, last time on the squad league, well, the last time that we did feature a team with Shark during league play, Shark showed just kind of how diverse he was with some of his roamer picks. A Fanny, Petrify Fanny, Petrify Kadita he was able to use. So not just those normal name brand roams is he capable of, but he can also pull out some outside the box. But if you guys haven't noticed so far, that little check mark down there at the bottom, Hoon is going to be playing for the Valley. Now I do know he is a mage main. Is he still going to be rocking that?
I'm not gonna lie, I definitely have seen him scrimming as a mage.
Yeah, and we don't see Raquel in here as well, so I think that's going to be the place like he's going to step in for.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see where his play style is. I do know he is a very mechanically gifted player, so he's not going to be afraid to maybe go outside the box for some of those picks that do require those heavy mechanics. That might even be outside the box, like a Gujin or something in there that's a little bit more with a higher ceiling cap there. So it's and this kind of plays into how we're going to be banning here. We do see that, of course, the Faramis and the Franco being taken out early already. Faramis, we know right now. I feel like he's too new. I do like seeing him because I like to see. Yeah, well, we can. Yeah, he is. I hate to say strong. I feel like he's too new for us to deal with right now because I have seen him dealt with.
Yeah, people didn't know he even existed in the game for a while. I feel like.
But we do see.
When I was in the first NACT, our team name was Fair Miss Epic Skins. So. No.
Yeah, we see a lot of this early game aggression taken out in the name of the Franco and the Masha. They're gonna take out all that harassment that you can do and the offense that you can put into the jungle. They're taking that out, and they went ahead and picked up that early game Belmont. We do know that especially with that lethal counter, he does like about 6k damage, able to really clench in on these objectives. So it's even if you miss your retribution, I mean, he's still got that lethal counter that's able to put a bunch of damage on there, and it helps secure some of those objectives, and then that early game that he presents.
Yeah, and I mean, I was actually surprised they went for the Balmon versus the Julian here. So and now we see, I mean, the Julian getting picked up by the side of the Valley and an Esmeralda, which are two heroes that have very good mobility and sustain. So we're looking at two heroes that are just nasty, and I think that's there in place to possibly counter how well and how much regen, you know, Balmon has and how much peel he can get in there, and it's hard to stop him.
Yeah, I think Julian just recently went through his second phase of nerfs as well, but it still hasn't really like affected his game style at all. He's just, you know, now he's moved over to that utility category with the knockups and overall, like you said, mobility as well, just to get back into the starting position. And I see, for example, one other champion not many people talk about actually. And when she was released, nobody even cared. I feel like Julian is like an improved Benedetta because of the mobility to move back and forth very efficiently. But you know, he has that CC, and that's really strong for a jungler.
Like a Benedetta 2.0 there. But we didn't, and we actually have been seeing Benedetta get a little bit of use. We saw it last night as well. I do like the pick, the composition here on the side of VFM, as they saw the two tankier, well, Julian's not really a tankier players, but they're trying to ward off the tankiness here by picking up the Lunux, who does that percentage health damage, and then picking up the Claude, that with that Demon Hunter sword can start really chunking into those heavier and tankier players.
I mean, both of them.
Like we are,
you know?
So we are kind of leaning though into a late game composition sans the Belmont. So they're going to probably be looking for maybe another something mid and probably some CC to try to hold and round out this composition.
I'm still I'm a little weirded out by the draft picks here from the Valley. Esmeralda, Anathamus, maybe the Thamus in the jungle, the Julian in the mid lane, and Esmeralda in the XP lane.
I'm guessing.
That would be the only thing that I could possibly think here. The Valley targeted tanks hard though.
It was Shark that picked up a Thamus though. So I mean, like I said before, the dude,
he's the seat. I'm like,
he's not afraid to play outside roam. So maybe this is going to be a roam Thamus. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait to see how that works out. I mean, it's on paper, it doesn't sound like a terrible idea. He does lack a little bit of mobility. So I'm not sure how well that might. They're definitely banning out
we have no tanks left soon if this keeps up. You know, we have Lolita, Franco, Atlas, Grog, Pan. There's a Tigreal coming up.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, I'm actually surprised on how like they decided to go for an Esmeralda Thamus, and I'm guessing they're probably still going to need another tank, maybe, because now they're going to be going up against a Lunox and then even a Claude, which is, I mean, unless they go all frontal force, like the Lunox, they're going to have to shut down the Lunox because of her HP peel, you know.
We're gonna see
it's gonna be
lane.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
they're thinking,
how much I'm believing any of these juggles there. Yeah. So
okay, well,
they do pick up Clint, and so I mean, it's going to be a lot of damage coming out of Clint, and especially if you can keep your distance onto these. If you can keep your distance onto these from these Claude, from this Linux, he's going to be able to like tear them down. And I think I want to say Clint does kind of get in there a lot faster, does hit that little power spike a lot earlier than those two heroes do. I'm interested in this little comp right here. I'm seeing we do have a Ruby, so we have some decent engage, some decent sets that we can potentially put together, but like I said before, we have a lot of late game heroes. The only real thing that we have in the early game right now for VFM is Belmont. So there's going to need to be a lot of support with him, because if they can shut him down, it's going to be a very rough and uphill climb for VFM in these opening minutes.
Absolutely. I think the Julian level 1 is very vulnerable. I'm hoping they're going to go for like aggressive invades early on. Ruby's very good for it, obviously. And if that pulls through, maybe they can do something. Very good job as well, picking up the glue. You know, Fermi is already banned by them as well, so no real danger to glue there as well. Selena is one of these heroes, just Rao, who's just pick and ban rate is skyrocketing now, and it's like that. Franco lights, you know.
Why the sigh?
Oh, because I hate a great Selena, and if this is gonna be on Shark, it can be so frustrating to play against because no matter what you're doing, any single time you're in a fight, there's an abyssal arrow coming from some brand new angle that you didn't think of, and that's what I think we're gonna start seeing here. It's gonna be a lot of harassment coming from them, but we did juggle it around here, and we are gonna be seeing a jungle Thamus, and I believe what is that, a mid lane Julian there. So yeah, they did juggle it around a bit there. So I mean, it's going to be an interesting game here. I'm excited. I want to see how well these two comps go into each other.
I mean, the Selena's kind of support, you know, not it's kind of like a equivalent to a Franco, you know. So definitely some interesting picks here. Like you were saying.
Oh.
I don't know who did that. Well, that wasn't one of you guys, was it?
No,
it was me. Apparently, I'm very sorry.
Okay.
I was trying to reach for my settings. Yeah.
The Ryan's over here getting too wild.
Yeah, the game was just...
Back to what we were going to say here. I was going to say I agree with Private here. On the side of Vec Fantasy main, they're going to have to be going into the late game here. And I'm actually quite confused of them thinking about the late game because of the Ballmon. Because, I mean, that could be the pick to go with just securing objectives really, really hard here.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting here. We do see a little bit of a focus down now coming down here. And then there, you see he does get picked up, not losing, does get picked up by one of those mines there. And that's just part of what you get. A part of what you get with a great Selena play is you get the bombs, you get the vision, and then you have those abyssal arrows and sets from that to watch out for.
I'd like to say Ruby is already being starved there. A minion wave was cut away, I think, by Esmeralda, and this is a good job there by Rimuru down Thamus as well. Look at how far up he is pushed already. Right now, you know, Jules Beauty not really in close combat could really stand a chance against them, so it's going to be a bit tough on that XP lane.
We do see that not losing is going to have to expel that flicker right away here in the opening minutes. It's still 25 seconds left until this turtle, so we're still waiting. Is able to pick up that gold buff is Kabuki. So we are still in the game here. We're still waiting. I think we're really going to start seeing the punishment from these cut lanes as we start moving into these team fights, because you see Rimuru, nothing is stopping him right now and starving out Ruby.
I mean, we're seeing some really good plays by Guapsi here. Just constant invading. The control of the map and the peel is insane by the Valley as well.
Yeah, we are on the turtle right now. It is down to half health, and Kabuki is sitting here. Is he going to be able to get it? He is not. Oh. He does miss it out, and especially on him, on the Belmont, not losing. He's trying to get away, but he's not going to be able to run fast enough as Rimuru able to catch up. Kabuki trying to dash his way to safety and is not going to be able to kind of withstand this, as Common Basic actually does get taken out there. So they are able to match it up with a 1-for-1, but it does look like Sayori in a little bit of trouble, is able to get away to safety and get their buff. So not as bad as the fight could have turned.
Yeah, it was looking like a safe fight to know Kabuki very early to initiate the turtle there, but excellent timing from Guapsi as well to recover it. And I mean, this is what, you know, separates great junglers from the good, and that just puts, you know, early tiny lead for the Valley right now. But we can see they are going, trying to go for that map control, of course, cutting lanes and pulling pressure as well. Rimuru very aggressive there. Oh, a lot of pressure piled onto Basic right now. If he escapes, it's a miracle right now, but no.
Yeah, so we do see that Basic does take another death here. So maybe I do like the pressure that Vec Fantasy main is putting onto this gold lane. They are able to take Basic down, kind of stunting out that gold lead again, but still the Valley is still keeping up with the gold right now, and with the help of that turtle that they were able to get early game.
Look at the pressure down here in this gold lane.
Yeah, absolutely. So proactive. Kabuki trying to farm these kills early on, and he can get another one, get Selena down, and it's just so easy for him. But finally, Basic replies as well. Gets a double kill, actually. Gets Sayori out of game as well, which is very good. You know, some of their pressure on mid lane is eased off as well. So that buys them time now.
Ooh, and it does look like R is going to go ahead.
Did you see that? Like,
There's a pair of ankles in that lane that Valley might want to claim. Is R able to go ahead and use that blazing duet and then teleport back to get himself into safety? We do see an abyssal arrow come in, and did they steal it? They did not. Kabuki's still able to pick it up. Oh, just narrowly misses the pickup onto that, but onto that turtle. So they have a second turtle for the Valley here. They are trying to press for some engages here, but wisely, VFM is trying to disengage here. They are not trying to compete. They lost the turtle, and that's all they're trying to lose right now. R putting on a little bit of damage to your basic, and yeah, a little bit of a duel, but I was about to say, I'm like, that's not somebody you really want to 1v1 with a Clint. Yeah. I don't care how great you think you are. He's just going to be able to blast you in the smithereen, so he wisely was able to pick up that lane and disengage again.
Yeah, it seems like as well are just trying to stack up the Art of Theory as fast as possible, and then inviting that claim to these one-on-ones, and a lot of pressure onto Kabuki. Now they're trying to get him away, and Guapsi does steal the gold trap as well, and Kabuki's going to go down. There's still a massive team fight ensuing, and we might see some other victims there as well. Guapsi still somehow alive, sustaining, but doesn't happen. R gets the kill there.
Yeah, they still are fighting here. Shark in a little bit of trouble as R locks onto him, is able to get that split has been activated on this Glow as not losing, still trying to ward off the rest of the team so that his team can have some wiggle room here in this lane. But Rimuru comes in here with that Falling Star Moon, is not able to finish the job as they are still chasing here. Might be safer, yeah, I was about to say, might be a little safer to disengage here. They got the job done, they cleared the lane, and they're gonna go ahead and reset on the map with 30 seconds left until the next turtle.
I was actually surprised on how long they stayed in that bottom lane. Like, they were just absolutely duking it out, but Jules...
Yeah, there is a stun that goes on to Jules Coot. He might be in a little bit of trouble here. Is trying to run for their lives, is able to get away, and that's what we're starting to see from this mid-game Ruby. I mean, and that's the part that makes her so dangerous, is the sustain that she has. I mean, that Fantasy main holding their own right now against the Valley.
Yeah. The Ruby does have dominance dice already, which kind of helps her from escaping as well, you know, from 3 players. It's not easy, and finally they find that first hurdle. And, well, it's not coming in easy. They might lose players in the process, but no, they find even Pixar. Guapsi goes down, and we might see a follow-up, but no. Rimuru just escapes and recalls in the bush there. And it looks like Guapsi's falling behind a little bit now, even though he got these early turtles. It's not really helping his cause.
Yeah, we saw that split as he was able to get the turtle. That split latched onto Guapsi and then tossed him over to the side of VFM, where they were able to finish off the job. We do see another split here onto Shark, who might be in a little bit of trouble. He's not going to be able to get away from the damage of a Lunox, and they are able to make quick work of him. And this is quickly starting to turn over into Vec Fantasy main's favor. But like I said, the Valley, one of those teams that, like, look at their farm right now. It's still matched up.
Yeah, I mean, they're putting lots of pressure, you know, like I was actually going to call this out in the very beginning. The glue pick is insane,
the knock-up.
But it's doing good. It's doing good. I don't know. Maybe I think Glue can make it out of this with no problem.
Yeah.
The teams are so sustainable right now. Being 7 minutes in, like, we're already seeing quite a bit of you know, defensive items being built on Ruby, on Glue, on Balmon. So I mean, half their team is just equal to thickness. Private.
But if you look at this Claude, he already does have that that golden staff and the demon hunter sword, so he's going to be hurting. These are the core items for a Claude. We do see an abyssal arrow does come out as the brilliance is now starting to chase down onto the Valley. Basic might not be able to make it out of it. He is not. Another abyssal arrow comes out, but the team is ready for it, and they are not able to find a moment to kind of like latch onto this team, as this has been a very good forward effort by VFM.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've seen, we haven't really seen Hoon come into play as well. He gets these knockouts, but there was really no follow-up. He does have the Genius Wand already, so he kind of has that power spike. There is really nothing to like latch onto, really. Like you said, there's so much durability already. And it looks like the early Lord is gonna be taken very quickly by Vec Fantasy. There it is.
Yeah, able to take that Lord, but they do lose a tower and potentially 2 towers down at the bottom right now, since the entire team is there. Remuru doing the best he can with that slapping of the tower on the Esmeralda. Unfortunately, that's when I can get minions on an Esmeralda to a tower, I leave, because the damage I do is so abysmal on Esmeralda. And Split has been activated here by not losing. He is trying to chase a little bit, but his team isn't ready, so he's just going to kind of back off. I think that was more of a warding off that he was trying to do to the enemy team there. We do have a Lord pressing his way down at bottom while minions are meeting at top, wondering which lane these guys are going to be going for. Another Abyssal Arrow going out, but pretty wide as well. Remuru is out here matching it with Jules Cutie as they're duking it out in front of this Lord. A lot of pressure trying to be put up onto top here. Clint actually might be in a little bit of trouble. We do see him trying to back off as we have Sayori in wait here, and there goes another tower. So a decent value out of this first Lord here, as we are still duking it out with these two titans down here just slapping each other, not able to really get an edge up with the damage with all the regen that both of these heroes have.
Yeah, what I want to talk about here, ooh, what a nice Abyssal Arrow, but it's not there to capitalize on maybe a team fight. Another one!
Yeah, you recover for a second, and it just comes in your face. There it is, another one. Oh, look.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got it here. But what I wanted to really talk about here is that, like you were saying, Claude is going to be coming online. A lot of the basic items have been already secured, and Claude has not taken a death. Like, that's the side of the valley needs to work together. Have Shark and just Guapsi and even basic, you know, just find a good spot to be able to jump Claude. But Claude is so hard to lock down, Private.
Yeah, and we talk about the kind of gold leads that you can get. Right now, they are up 4K is a VFM, but that doesn't really kind of put into question the entire of like 3K that R is up on the entire team. So like he's so far ahead of any of the members of the Valley right now that it's going to be so hard to stop him. He just needs to make sure, or his team needs to make sure, that they are covering and they are engaging properly to make these openings for him.
What's your take on this, Private,
yeah, we
or
see.
not Private, Ryan?
Yeah, we see just Vec Fantasy passively pushing these lanes, you know, like you already said, R was doing a very good job just closing it in. We've seen the lanes pretty much switch up now. Jules Cutie doing a good job as well, now reversing what happened in the early game, just cutting away these minion waves. Of course, Remura replying with the same thing, honestly. Hoon is passively getting these items. I feel like there's still an opportunity for Valley to fight back, and this could be one of them. Bakalu is just becoming so tanky, it's impossible to get rid of him while he's on top of you. And, well, they do get rid of Basic in the process.
Yeah, split was all it was taken, but we do see a stun that does latch onto Lunox. Lunox actually might be in trouble. Get taken out pretty quickly, but Kabuki, I'm not sure he really wants to be fighting this. It is the fight has not evened out yet. We do have the teams kind of clashing in here together. We do see another a split has been activated. Kabuki is able to pick up the Lord, and we are still fighting here. Remuru trying to get as much shielding as they can, but it's not going to be enough. Guapsi gets pulled in with time offended, and damage coming onto him right now. I don't think he's gonna be able to make it out of here. Oh, but he does. He turns on the Nas, is able to go ahead and get back to the safety of the base. But man, this is already looking really good for VFM. Another Abyssal Arrow does come in, latches on, and Hoon might be in trouble here. Does get taken out there as that blazing duet does get activated. Oh no! Abyssal Arrow does land. That might be it. Jules Cutie goes down, gets caught slipping inside of that bush.
Yeah, that was a bit surprising there, but still pretty good. You know, they have the Lord crashing in top lane. Right now, the Valley has to divide their attention between all of these lanes. Like you said as well, R is doing a good job right in the center of everything right now. Oh, what happened there?
Yeah, Sayori has been getting so caught with these Abyssal Arrows, with these stuns.
Sayori was just rooted to the spot there, like.
Yeah, I mean...
Before it even hit, I might add, because there was no attempt of dodging.
It must have heavy boots on her right now. She's trying to claw her way out, but the second time we've seen her, actually I think the third time we've seen her get hit with a Abyssal arrow and then capitalized on by the team of the Valley. And this is not the team that you're going to want to get you're going to want to get complacent with.
And now we are seeing Shark kind of now hit some really key Abyssal arrows, and the team always jumping on them. And that could be what they really wanted to do from the side of the Valley, was, you know, kind of at this end game, even though they're in a little bit of a disadvantage, the gold lead's not absolutely crazy that you can't recover from it. The biggest thing is that they're going to have to stop the Balmon, to just stop the objective seal, and then also take out R.
Yeah, and it's easier said than done. We are down to inhibitors on their side, but I do want to say Not Losing doing a great job of being able to get in there, getting into Clint's face, making sure to negate all of that damage that he can be doing there. Oh, he is going to try to latch on, but Hoon is able to go ahead and dash his way to safety here. We are starting to set up 36 seconds left for this next Lord.
Yeah. Ari is also just miles above everyone. I mean, for a minute ago, he was pretty much 2 or 3 levels above everyone else as well on Valley's side. And his gold lead is so massive. You know, he has already Wind of Nature as well. So, you know, he can already feel the security items. It's not very likely he's going to be taken out anytime soon, unless there's a massive team fight happening and he actually gets targeted.
Yeah, you can see he's already at full build right now, so he's basically where he wants to be. It's all basically on skill level now. We do see that VFM is going to go ahead and start on this Lord. I think the Valley does know that it's happening, but they are tearing it down. Dude, I blinked and that Lord was gone. But down at the bottom, we do see Rimuru is trying his best to kind of like puncture in these lanes, cut them so that they can try to get something out of these lost Lords that they're giving away.
Yeah, they're just having a really hard time contesting anything objective base because of the Balmon. But we can't also, again, disclude R, you know. Already almost 13,000 gold, singly by a gold lane. 2 more items than the Valley's gold lane. Like, this could be
Rimuru's gonna get circled here.
Yeah, we do see that. Oh, he misses that. Here comes the Blazing Duet is onto Rimuru. He does get taken down with that lethal counter. So this is going to be a 5v4 defense on the side of the Valley here. And it's not where you want to be as the entire team of BFM is coming in here. They're trying to put on the damage. Oh my God, Kabuki is going to have to disengage here before he gets taken out. We do see the Brilliance coming out there. Guapsi goes down. That's damage from basic starting to come online.
Yeah, I mean, Sayori and Not Losing were very conservative with the flashes. They just used it at the very last moment. And, well, it was the right thing to do, but they're now charging back in. And there it is. Kabuki gets another kill with the lethal counter. There is Boone in trouble as well, but it doesn't even matter. They're just rushing in towards the base, yeah.
This might be it. They're already on it, and that is the game. What is that, about 11 minutes? Did I miss it? Wow, that was what a dominating performance by VFM. This is a completely different VFM than we saw at the beginning of the season. Where are we at? 60 minutes. It definitely wasn't 11 minutes. I had a little time lapse there, maybe drooling a bit, but it was a very dominating game by the side of VFM, especially with the inclusion of R now. I mean, I don't even want to say that it was R making this possible, because at the beginning, like, he still needed like 6 minutes to start coming online, getting those items, but the rest, the cohesion by the rest of VFM, and especially Not Losing on this glue, able to lock down not just Hoon, but also Basic as well on this Clint. Because, I mean, I think he had 2 kills onto Clint in the opening minutes of it. Just a very offense-heavy start and composition by the side of Vec Fantasy main here.
No, it was absolutely a thrashing. And, I mean, it was just overall, I was suspecting... Again, the side of the Valley just, I don't think really had that burst potential, you know? Like, we can even see the Hoon on Julian, you know? Like, 0 kills, but 6 assists. More assists than Shark right now. Shark seemed to be taking a lot of the kills, so it was more of, like, that the kills weren't going to the right people, and they just weren't able to gold up in time.
Yeah, I felt like Sharp was a bit helpless as well. I mean, obviously landed the arrows, but there was nobody capitalizing on them. Had to jump in sometimes by himself there, and he just didn't help their cause then and there. And we thought, that they had a late game comp, and that was actually they even were dominant in early game because they are absolutely won the lane. Clint was pushed back, was bullied several times. 2 deaths in the early minutes is not very good for a marksman, and this is where like the gap stretched and stretched. And Kabuki as well, you can call Balman also, a low skill ceiling hero, but he still did a very good job there, yeah.
Yeah, and he is. A lot of people do kind of comment on that of how easy he can be to play. I do feel like Julian, Hoon, and Shark, they were landing some decent. Shark, not so much at the beginning. I want to say that Hoon was more prevalent in the pop-ups that he was catching, but there wasn't the synergy. There wasn't the follow-up like you guys were saying. And then as we started coming up into the mid to late game, those abyssal arrows were starting to land, and we did see a little bit more follow-up from the side of the valley when those abyssal arrows were starting to land, but I think by then it was already too late. You're fighting against this team that was already 6k ahead of you. Claude, R alone on this Claude was already 2 to 3k ahead by himself. It's one thing to say a team is ahead 3k, but a player ahead 3k says mountains about how much stronger he's going to be in those fights. And we do gotta kind of start this off with the I want to say the basic bans that we usually get. The Fanny getting taken out there along with the Masha and Faramis right now. It was such a short-lived time of Faramis's time where he nobody was banning him and he was getting play, and we had this all excitement, and now he's back to not being played right now. So
the Valentina treatment, and Valentina joins Faramis there as well. So. Yeah.
Nah, I mean, they have some really solid bans. And I mean, they're normal bans, right? We see these all the time. What does the Valley have to do here to change this tide? My own personal opinion is that they might need to babysit the gold lane. I always like to go back to the common standard. You just gold lane wins games.
Yeah, I feel like that as well. You shouldn't they could target marksman bans, but I don't think that's like a good option there. If you see Claude as well, just soloing the lane so efficiently as R did, it raises a few questions. And actually the glue is coming out there. Maybe that really spooked them that much.
That's really interesting too, because I was going to say there that I really felt like the roaming on the side of VFM just had more of an effect on the field than Selena did. Even with some of those abyssal arrows that they landed, I feel sometimes like Selena is kind of her greatness depends on perhaps more on sloppiness of the other team rather than the skill level you can play, because you could lob out the greatest abyssal arrows, but if the team knows it's coming and they're able to get out of the way, I mean, there's not much that you can do to kind of keep on that pressure. And we do see that Bauman coming out of their VFM not wanting to see that, even though they pulled it out against.
I was about to say
there's the Akai,
I was like, Akai was open, which
there's the Guapsi Akai.
Yeah, and that's a Guapsi on an Akai, which we know is very a comfortable pick for Guapsi. But let's see what VFM can respond with. Do they pick the Esmeralda? Do they go with something? Do they go with a Diggy? Do they just pull that out of the pocket?
Well, if they do go with a Diggy, they are going to need some type of a front line. I mean, we saw it yesterday too, and one of my biggest critiques sometimes when you're picking a roam, if you're going to pick a support, if you're going to pick something squishy, if you're going to pick something that cannot get into your front line and help with the CC in there, you're going to need a front line coming from somewhere else, because Diggy by himself will just get chewed up and eaten. So we do see the typical, I want to say, anti-tank picks here in the Claude and the Lunox. So it's going to be really interesting to see how well they can deal with this, because I mean, they're still kind of gearing towards a very tanky composition, are the Valley.
And I mean, we can see the Valley picking up the Grok already. Shark on the Grok. That's a great combo with an Akai.
Yeah, not
Okay,
just
that's
yeah, especially I do feel like this is particularly aimed at R because Grok's
Yeah.
passive now with every single bit of what's it called, a physical attack that he gets physical defense as well, so that's going to probably be geared more towards R. But Shark and his maneuverability on the Grok, we've seen it before, especially with these flicker wild charges, able to hit you from angles that you weren't expecting and close distances on you. So that's going to be really interesting, especially because that wild charge pops you up, which is going to stop the blazing duet of R. So we're going to see how well he can play into it, or if they're going to be expecting it.
Yeah. Ooh, banning getting rid of the Dairoth, solid. You know, it's quite typical. Anytime you guys see an Esmeralda being played, I'm actually surprised the Dairoth maybe wasn't picked up, since they already secured a, like, Bia could have went, you know, it's kind of like an iffy situation because Bia would have got banned out at that point. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, do you want to go with this now or go with it later? Because it just, I don't feel like they need to counter the XP lane. I felt like their weakness on the Valley was the gold lane. The strength on VFM was the gold lane and the run.
Yeah. The Franco ban coming in as well. They're obviously trying to get rid of more tank opportunities there for Fantasy. But we see Thanos getting banned, of course. You know, there's still a fighter to be picked in XP lane, and well, what could be an option here?
They're effectively kind of taking out the counters for Esmeralda right now.
Yeah.
I think the only thing really left for an Esmeralda may be a Uranus. That's not something that actually counters Esmeralda, though. It's something that can, as you get into
outlast
mid game,
her.
it can hold. Yeah, it can start. It can start kind of holding his own with her, and you usually see them both cutting each other's lanes. So we've effectively taken off a bunch of the fighters and the roams here. So it's going to see what we have for Kabuki and not losing. We are still waiting for that jungle. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure what we have.
Okay.
What?
It's a reach.
Matilda. I think they're just trying to be really fast here. Maybe trying, because what I'm thinking they're anticipating here is that Shark's just going to have a lot of sets with Guapsi here, you know, so they're just trying to get in, get out, do what they can to secure objectives.
It would have been.
Go ahead.
If it would have been Kagura as well, I think it would have been just full dive comp against dive comp. But right now the Lilia is supposed to backline as well. Karina was left open, so that's gonna be the tank, I'm guessing here.
No, Karina's gonna. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's gonna be the jungle assassin, Karina, most likely. Oh, we're still waiting.
This is a good pick too. We've seen it excel
it's
last
against
night.
Paquito, it's a very good pick actually, but yeah. Possibly still the Karina left open. Karina pretty decent, quickly killing Beatrix as well. They're just teasing at this point. Yeah.
When the body suffers.
No, it's being locked in.
Yeah, we've seen Benedetta do very well yesterday. I'm still not convinced because she does not have. I think in the NA, in the last few months in pro play in NA, I think she's had 2 games played, 0% win rate before yesterday. So I mean, she's one of those very niche picks that we're going to see how.
Extremely difficult for me, at least. I think she's up there with Fanny.
Yeah, to line up. I mean, you can't. For me, the thing is, you can. Sure, you won't be able to hit her, and you'll be able to negate a lot of damage. But I think the problem for me comes with still being able to deal that damage back out to them. So we're gonna see how well this goes in here. We do see that it is that jungle emblem as well. So maybe a tank Benedetta here.
I guess she's usually built with lifesteal, so she could build like a semi-tank definitely, and just risk going for the lifesteal.
Yeah.
So we are in the second match of this series. We know that the Valley does not want to take an 0-2 loss in their debut with Hoon and Shark here. We do have a pause has been called, and we're going to make sure that both these teams are ready and on an even turf before we continue. But let's talk a little bit about these comps here. We do see a little bit more of a tanky engagement comp on there, and I do like on the side of the Valley, the tankiness and that surprise damage that you can get with that Rimuru on that Paquito as well. Which comp are you favoring here, Ryan?
I think early game it has to be the Valley, right? I mean, if we're looking at lane specifically, Lilia, of course. If we're looking at Beatrix, I think R is gonna struggle a bit more now. I feel like they're gonna rotate over there a little bit more as well, just to make him struggle as well. And yeah, the play has resumed now. Already a bit of harassment coming in from Stark, but looks like jungle is being respected on both sides right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and go ahead.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about that we haven't really talked about, Hound on this Lilia. Like, since there's such a dive-heavy top, I feel like Lilia is gonna excel here.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to depend on how well we do see that Team Valley is able to go ahead and pick up that first Litho Wander. It's going to depend on how Matilda is using these dives and these dashes from her, because it can either be used to engage or it can be used as a device to get him away. And it doesn't matter how much slow you have on the Lilia. If your Matilda is diving your entire team away, you just see that speaking of which, Super Guapsi does come in, put a little bit of damage on there, but not losing, is able to get away. For me right now, I just don't like the lack of a front line for the side of VFM right now, and we do see that buff is going to go ahead and be picked up by Guapsi here. Here comes a heavy spin now, is going to ward them away. They are basically refusing VFM all of their jungle right now. As you can see, even Paquito getting in on it. Up over here by the buff is trying to steal out some more of the jungle.
Yeah, I think it's very much down to hard work there from Shark as well. He did a very good job just absorbing a few knocks there. You know, the Rock just refuses to move from the way. No one can do anything. He tried to lock down Matilda early on as well. That could have been something. Now, already Turtle is up. Akai solo is a bit difficult against the Turtle. So I'm guessing there should be someone coming over soon. He tries to get it by himself. Matilda there. He gets it. He gets it. There's no challenge even.
Yeah, not even a challenge right now. This game is becoming right now nothing is really challenging the Valley, as they're pretty much warding their way through the jungle here. Like, look right now, they're on the blue buff. Nothing is really there to stop them. 4 members here right now. A different match than we saw with the last one. We do see an engagement happening here. Kabuki in a little bit of trouble here. Is going to try to use that final cut, but not able to use it. It does get trapped out there and picked up by Rimuru. Also, Shark did get taken out down as well. We do see that Falling Star Moon is able to pick off Rimuru, and Guapsi is going to go ahead and try to get himself back to safety. So they do go ahead and lose one, but they pick up 2 for themselves as well, do VFM.
Yeah, I feel like it was a pretty good trading there, honestly, and I think Vec Fantasy doing a good job right now, you know, negating what happened early on into the game. They got Shark out for a short while. Of course, Shark is right away back in where he was a couple of minutes ago, you know, he's just back there in the jungle trying to disturb them as much as possible. It also helps them a lot that Benedetta has very low early game damage, to be honest.
Yeah, we are seeing R still doing a pretty decent job. Hasn't taken a death, not getting too focused on in his lane right now, but the rest of the team still having a little bit of problems here. It's still only about a 1k gold lead on the side of the Valley here, so not too much going on that side. We still have 33 seconds left, and a little bit of engagement happening here now, as Not Losing is going to take a little bit of damage, but not enough to really scare them away. Basic takes a decent chunk, gets bitten out of him, and an engagement now onto Lunox in the mid lane, but nothing really concerning. Oh, a nice flicker by Basic, and a flicker by Not Losing himself. He does get caught by a wild charge, but still, I love the cohesion by VFM right now.
Yeah, but did they utilize a lot of their kit for no reason? It looks like Guapsi coming in the big.
That's massive there.
Beautiful counter by R there. Is able to get back out of the way, but we do lose Not Losing today right now. And this is going to set up a very good turtle punch for the side of the Valley. Kabuki is able to take down Hoon, as this turtle does get taken down by Guapsi again.
Yeah, Guapsi
it's tough.
Feeling very comfortable on this Akai right now. The invades are quite crazy. Jules, Cutie, I don't think it's going to be in trouble. Esmeralda, again, is the thickest girl on the map, so no biggie there. No, what I'm seeing though is that they're definitely focusing. They're trying to focus on Oregon. You know, like he's already taken a first death. You know, they need to control the gold lane. But from the side of VFM, we need to see more like objective control. You know, we've seen that they're being very aggressive, so we're gonna not losing today is definitely gonna have to do what they did in the last match, constantly keep roaming and give pressure and give vision.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, they're definitely trying to focus around R as well in top lane there, and Valley trying to take control of it. R already, you know, behind in level compared with basic, and that's going to be a major game breaker right now here. Already trying to initiate once again. Shark throws out a wall and it locks out Matilda, as we can see there, and that's going to be a pick. Possibly Kabuki escapes just narrowly, inches away, and just gets to the safety of the turret and gets to her blue buff there.
But then does use that circling eagle, getting caught by basic over here up at the top. So Yori's gonna come in here, but this is not the fight that you want. Doesn't have that brilliance left anymore. They used it earlier, and it's gonna get taken out. And this is a 5-3 gold, 5-3 kill lead in favor of the Valley, as they're gonna go ahead and make short work of this mid tower.
That was 2 giant mistakes from BFM there. There was no reason to utilize.
They're chasing Gar. Shark is taking so much damage that they try to turret dive R there, but he's standing his ground, and Shark is taken out of play, and that's great retaliation there. Matilda as well, not standing for too long, it seems. There is basic shooting it down from the turret, and it's really difficult to make anything happen against Beatrix. We know we're a long range, and we're obviously trying to chase Kabuki back a little bit as well. The turtle is up once again, but the fighting is still continuing on top lane, and it's really hard. R could be taking basic out, but didn't even notice, and there is basic just shooting R in the back.
This is crazy.
Okay, well.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're just not letting up on this damage right now. Jules Cutie coming in on the Hoon. Hoon is still able to get out of the way. That Kabuki gets taken down now as well, followed shortly behind by Jules Cutie. And right now, not losing is having a little bit of trouble here. Is probably not going to want this fight, as Sayori is going to get hit up with that knockout punch up at the top and gets taken out. And this is going to be a turtle for the side again, for the side of the Valley.
Yeah, it's growing to be more difficult, honestly, for Red Fantasy, and you can see as well, Basic is really come into play now. Matilda once again bullied there a little bit, and not losing. Has been out of position several times already, but coming back to the main point, we see Basic already having played of this Spear, you know, already having so much damage. You can't really do anything against Beatrix there on your own if there are other players in vicinity, and there is Shark usually guarding Basic, so there's nothing they can do. Another turret lost, and they're slowly nipping them down.
Yeah, and I like that the Valley is kind of following R around the map as well. R went ahead and rotated down to the bottom as well, and was met by the rest of the team of the Valley, including Basic there. We do see a little bit of engagement here happening at mid. Rimuru is standing his ground here as the Brilliance is activated, but I'm not really sure that VFM is really going to be able to contest this push that is happening right now. Still 60 seconds left on this Lord.
We're just seeing a different game by the Valley. And I think what really truly turned the tides here now is that they got that Akai, which will now allow them to secure objectives. And they're just playing aggressive, you know, not allowing BFM to get a flow going. But Private, we might see a giant engage here.
Oh, yeah, not losing does get caught here. Matilda not going to be able to withstand that damage. Jules Cutie comes in for a little bit. Brilliance is activated by that Linux, but look at the damage on Basic. Here comes a two-man heavy spin, and down goes R. Unfortunately, Kabuki trying his best is not going to be able to dance his way out of that right now. So Yori is next on the list as Jules Cutie misses with the falling star moon, and is going to have to beat the dust out of here right now. And this is what a dominating and different game that we are getting from the Valley right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure how not losing escaped there, but that was just The nice final touch to that push, honestly, from the Valley, and it's been very aggressive from the side. We saw R as well, for whatever the reason, targeting Guopsy there while doing almost no damage to him, basically. And meanwhile, he's already 0-4. You know, he can do nothing at this point. Right now, he's levels behind, mentioned already, and the best they can do right now is just deep push, which isn't even the best. Pretty much only R has a good kit for it. Together with Sayori.
Yeah, they need to start split pushing.
Yeah, I feel like right now we're starting to see more and more what the problem is with a support roam if you do not have a front line. There's like, who is going to be taking this punishment? Because not losing can't. He's tried and he just keeps getting caught. We have another engagement here as they go on to Shark. Shark does come in with a wild charge, and there goes a damage coming from Basic. Down goes Sayori, and next is Jules Cutie. This is a 3-for-1 trade right now. RS still able to take down Rimuru, but we do have a Lord pushing in at top as well. Kabuki and R, the last ones left right now, a wall behind Kabuki, not really able to stop him, but neither are the side of BFM able to stop this push, as they are still putting on the damage. That sniper rifle from Basic just chipping away at the tower, and here comes the Lord up at the top, still looking for some type of engagement that he can put onto it. And there goes R, does get pinned up against the wall and taken out, and there goes the main part of their damage. Brilliance does get activated onto Shark, and down goes Shark. Hoon and Basic are on the chase. Sayori running as fast. Oh, what a move and an outplay there to take down Hoon.
Wow.
Yeah. Great response from Sayori, honestly. After seeing what happened from Vec Fantasy's side, there's a nice job from Kabuki, but he's gonna get taken out, isn't he? Oh, still under the turret, but Rimuru is testing the limits. Might get her, but no, just playing with food there. Well, falls back, and I think he's gonna get taken out. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so they're on a great path here, but you can see Super Guopsy doing his best job here. Every single time R comes in with that blazing duet, and another pin here as a not losing is gonna have to disengage here. What I was saying is that every single time R comes in for that blazing duet, they have options. They have so many options to take him out. Either just an ability, a dash from a Kai to be able to pop him up, or that wild charge from Grok to be able to throw him up. But even Rimuru on that Paquito has pop-ups in his kit, so I feel like this was completely aimed at trying to shut down R.
Guopsy is just emoting there. Okay, that's getting out of hand. 4-0-30, and this is Guopsy Sakai, everyone. This is why this needs to be banned whenever Guopsy is playing, and it just happens, you know. Kabuki couldn't even chase him early game, you know, because he just lands down and gets away. It's so easy for him, and they're just gonna get the second stage Lord as well.
They tried to do a little bit of TP themselves and wasn't able to do anything. And yeah, snipe! Oh, here we go! Play!
Yeah, we do have a little bit of engagement here as they are going to try to zone them away. Not losing is trying to get away from here, and Sayori does activate that brilliance. It looks like the team is trying to turn around onto Guopsy. A lot of damage there, but in the background there is Basic throwing on the damage to VFM, and down goes Sayori. The bombs from Hoon, more than enough to take care of it, and here comes Not Losing on that Matilda, as Not Losing does take down Hoon, but Shark is trying to get away, and right now Kabuki doing his best to kind of fend off this assault by Guopsy here. Are they going to be able to do it, as it is now a 3v3 match, but you do have the Lord here barreling down into mid, and they're trying their best to take it out, but look at the sustain from Rimuru right now. Still able to 1v3 all of these guys. Meanwhile, at the top, the tower's getting taken out. So, I mean, just a great job being able to split up priorities by the side of the Valley.
Yeah, it's becoming intense for Vec Fantasy because these super minions are pushing in from every angle possible now. And you can see how much they struggled even with Rimuru, you know, he was just knocking them up left and right. It was so easy landing these punches. Even though R kind of went on that suicide mission with the blazing duet and did a good job, because Basic got taken out of play, that managed managed to buy some time for them to get that deep push down, but that's not good enough because Basic is back in play. Obviously, Guapsi has not gone anywhere, and this is going down now once again.
Yeah, we do see Kabuki trying to get out of there. That heavy spin is able to bounce him out, but in the background, here comes Rimuru popping up. Our Blazing Duet has been activated as he is going to be able to get away, but here comes Basic over there. We do see a circling eagle onto them, but not losing, gets taken out right now, and they need to disengage, but down goes Sayori, down goes R. Jules Cutie might need to try to lead them away because this is going to be a base for the Valley if they do get Jules Cutie. I mean, they're not waiting for him. They're basically just trying to stall for time so that they can get this base in here. And a very dominating performance of the same time limit that they had for this match, and a wall that traps Akai into the background. And I think the moral of the story here is that Akai, you cannot let him get onto that Akai. What a dominating and a great win. We're gonna go to a game 3 here in the Valley, taking on Vec Fantasy main.
I just want to say that the NASL is not a best of 2 game, that's for sure. Everyone like almost game has went best of 3 this weekend, and all teams are showing really great potential. But again, the Kai ban came out in the very first round. It didn't make it into the second round, and you see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to say though that go ahead.
No,
Ryan.
go ahead. Come on, you already started.
I was gonna say that you cannot put all your eggs just onto R. There needs to be some type of support, some type of helping there. I'm not sold on this Matilda pick right here, especially of all the supports that were available, especially Diggy. I think probably not. Even Diggy is not. I don't really like Diggy here, but I like it more than Matilda because we would give room to R at least, because you can use it as a disengage tool as well, or on the chance that you guys are able to be more offensive, you could have used it as an offensive tool to kind of open it up for R not to get picked up when he was trying his Blazing Duet.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the roam supports when it comes to these when it comes to some of these matches, because you need something tanky to be able to get that front line, and there was nothing stopping the Valley from just closing in at every different angle, whether it's the front or Rimuru coming in from the rear. There was nothing to tank that damage, and unfortunately it kind of spelled a very dominating game by the Valley.
Definitely.
Absolutely, we should be moving into the third game very soon. And yeah, I think a lot of our supports were overlooked. I feel like Lolita could have done a good job there as well, honestly. And roaming overall, getting these stuns, getting to block Beatrix, who, did massacre every team fight. They ate up all the Nibiru bullets pretty much. And that's how it goes.
No, I mean, it does occasionally happen,
Yeah, the Beatrix, the stars of those games, definitely the Beatrix and Guapsi. So Basic and Guapsi did a phenomenal job, and it usually kind of seems at how these compositions can get rounded out. It's usually either the roam and the
Akai just seconds in and is banned.
They didn't even consider it. They were like immediately going to go ahead and shut down that Akai, which, I mean, it's smart. It's big money there, just because it was such a dominating showing by Guapsi there. So we're going to see how well they can round out here. Still kind of leaning on that Fanny ban, which is kind of surprising. I don't really remember. Well, I'm not sure who Kabuki is. Well, no, because they banned it.
Oh yeah,
they banned it. So that's why I'm wondering.
I see your vision here.
But now we're gonna go ahead and round this out with a Franco ban, that early aggression from him, maybe something that was missing a little bit from Vec Fantasy main's composition last game.
And I mean, I want to kind of go over what happened last game. You know, why they're doing their normal. You can already see that they're just going back to round one. They needed to pick up back where they excelled on. This is where they need to go on. Not getting the Balmond could be huge, but the biggest thing that I seen was that Matilda pick was just not helpful. You were saying don't put all your eggs in the basket for R, you know, but I mean, R did really well. Why not?
Yeah,
just
given
do
the
it
resources,
again?
I mean, he fell behind, and given the resources, he did a good job, to be honest, getting these late kills even. But you know, there's not a lot you can do as Claw when you're levels behind. You're up against very tanky opponents. There's Grok standing, you know, a Kai standing. You can't do a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
you think they're gonna do it again?
I feel like
though?
it depends. I feel like that early Claude pick really kind of synced in the deal for them, in that it allowed them to pick up a bunch of counters. There were 3 heroes there with pop-ups for Claude. So I mean, it's as soon as he got put down, as soon as he was able to use a blazing duet, he was getting countered with something. So I'm expecting maybe we might be a little bit more hesitant.
Okay.
We did open up the Valentina, probably one of the best win rates of any mage in NA right now. And you see that Basic's gonna go ahead and pick up the Claude in answer to that.
He's
Still
gonna
the
show
blue band, though.
Yeah. He's gonna show them how to play correctly.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here with that Masha, which is going to give them that early game aggression. But not just that, but it is going to mean that we're going to have to be very careful about the marksman we choose, because if Shark can latch onto that marksman, I mean, there's not going to be any auto attacks, and Masha can clean up a marksman very quick. So it's something that we're going to have to maybe have a little bit of we're going to have to think about a disengage for our back line if Shark's able to find those angles to kind of flank from the rear.
I definitely, and I mean, what we're seeing from the side of VFM is they have a lot of front assault. If I was on the side of the Valley, I'd be picking Eve right now, you know, but then you got to trade off and think, what about the Valentina? Then there's going to be 2 Eves on the battlefield. So what's a good mage that we could possibly play here for the side of the Valley?
Well, it honestly depends on here. I mean, Eve's not terrible. You do have to think about the ultimates that you are giving to Valentina. Maybe possibly you throw another ultimate out there. Right now, I feel like a lot of these picks are very much also geared towards the fact that Valentina can't really take these ults and do much. She can steal Claude's blazing duet, but when she uses the IMU, all she gets is physical attack. She doesn't get the attack speed that Claude needs to be able to do damage on that blazing duet. As well as that, we'll have the thunderclap from Shark's Masha, which really isn't going to be too much damage there as well. And then of course the Cauterant Inferno from Guapsi's Thamus that I mean, like I said, it's not really a game changing thing. Maybe it help you survive a bit, but not something that is really going to change the battlefield right now. But we are going to be moving into this second banning phase, and I was going to say too that Wanwan, they definitely don't want to give that to R. It's something that he was actually known for on when he was still on Team First Blood. That Wanwan is just such a dangerous pick for him. I'm very interested though, because R's not a one-trick pony. He does have a very wide marksman pool, and I definitely want to see how he's going to be able to combat this, especially going up against the Claude and to combat against a Shark, who is definitely going to be a commonality in that lane.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they didn't ban a Beatrix instead of a Kufra, but I could see the Kufra brand. I was actually going to suspect a Bia ban and then the side of BFM picking up a carry just because of how tanky the side of the Valley's looking right now. But again, I mean, now they could definitely secure the Bia and, you know, have that shotgun ready for a lot of this frontal forces that they're coming here. Possibly could even catch the Cloud off guard. But those are all just like, you know, possibilities. We won't know until they actually pick what I suspect.
I just feel like we still need an answer for the Claude. Like we saw it. I mean, for the last few matches in NA in the last few weeks, Claude has just been a menace. Once he gets to that mid, once he gets that Demon Hunter sword, once he gets that golden staff, there's just really not much that's going to be able to stop him. But I mean, we're gonna see. We still this is the first match where I haven't seen Julian as a priority, which is kind of amazing to me. These mages kind of like fall in favor and out of favor so sneakily. Like Xavier, I don't even know what happened to him, but oh, there he is. But like I haven't seen him in a match in like the last month. He just kind of suddenly out of nowhere just decided to just fell off there. But we do see the Julian who's going to be able to come in with the okay. They're both there's definitely no way they're both going jungle. So I definitely think that is going to be a mid Julian, especially with the damage in the region that he's going to be able to have on there.
Well, there was a lot of tanks taken out, but there is Atlas open, and it kind of combines with Ruby. It very well combines with Valentina as well. So
they're gonna have a lot of CC if that's the route that they go. Ooh, I still don't even know if that's a good. I don't know. It's a tough decision here. I felt like the Kufra would have been good, but it's not here.
Yeah.
They left him in a tough position, that's for sure.
Against the kind of mobility, you know, Claude has, maybe Lolita is a difficult pick, but we'll see. Moscow is locked in as well. It's rare to see him at that level, but he's pretty good, you know. If he gets these stuns, if he gets these lockdowns against the wall, it could be something here.
Not just a Moskov, but a Moskov with Inspire.
It's always Inspire.
Yeah, I mean, I would think it's just you have no escape. You do have a dash, so and if you're gonna want to maximize some of your damage, you use that dash before you initiate on your damage because it does create a buff in your attack speed and everything. But if you are doing that, then you're taking away your only escape as a marksman, and you already know that they're going to be gunning for the marksman. They're going to want to keep Claude fed. They're going to want to keep him fed and make sure that he can kind of get carried into the mid and late game. It's going to be an interesting comp, though. I do like that VFM does have a front line this time. So, I mean, this could work up against him. I don't think I've seen enough Moskov to really like to want to like really go full hardcore. I think VFM is going to win this. The Moskov is I think it's going to be all on how well he can do on this.
I think so. I think he can pull off like the first. I think he can pull up the first Claude game he had, you know. And I think if the lane is going to be uncontested, you know, Moskov has a very good wave player. He can hold very well his own against Claude as well. He has his troubles, of course, with mobility characters, but. We're gonna see how it works out. Lolita is moving up right away. So are they going to do something with the Claude early on?
Yeah, we do see. So they are going to go ahead and duo lane right away. A little bit of a paddywhack here at the purple buff as Shark just wanted to check to see what buff that they were moving on. And not really much going on here at the moment. They're probably going to be waiting until the turtle comes for some of these fights.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, Marsha's been moved up there as well. Just to annoy that Lolita a little bit, and they're definitely targeting not losing right now. And scared back a little bit already. That doesn't give them a lot of leeway, of course, on the lane, but looking to go for that lane map control once again. Team Valley and they are trying to get that buff away from their hands. Shark on the chase. This is not looking good at all.
Yeah, they are going to go ahead and engage onto this as Guapsi comes in there. I think he was able to secure that buff, and Kabuki in a little bit of trouble. Does get taken out early game, and this is another early game like aggression from the side of the Valley here. Really do, and that's the problem sometimes when you pick an assassin jungle, is you leave yourself open for those early engagements, and you need to be ready for it because they're so squishy. Because of what, I mean, when you're pitting up a Thamus against a Karina with neither one of them having their ult, the Thamus is going to win out that trade. So I mean, they're definitely going to need to rethink what type of protection they're giving.
I want to point something out that I've seen in this game and the past game. In the very early game, I don't think anything's going to go down here, but we're still here. We have seen Guapsi and Shark. Shark's been giving visions on the buff, the second buff, you know, and once they locate where the Karina was, they all dived in on her buff, and they did that twice. That's the second time they've done that. They did it last game, and they now did it this game. So the communication between the invades are insane.
Absolutely, yeah. R was very close to being in trouble there, but basically decided to recall after seeing that a congregation of the players over there on that side of the map, and we see more focus drawn towards mid as well. Of course, they're just probing these lanes a little bit to see which one can be taken the fastest. Shark now trying to get that crab there. Ari's recalling, so that opens up an opportunity to actually get that lane locked down as well.
Oh, there's just so much aggression coming from the Valley right now. Whether it's every single player, it looks like, is just all over VFM's jungle right now. Stealing what they can, trying to refuse that jungle. Kabuki just has his 4 right now. Rimuru, not even the jungler, is already at level 6 right now, while Kabuki is only at 4. So, I mean, then this is telling you something about how much they're starving him out right now. Up at the top, a little bit of an engagement as R is forced to kind of sit behind this second tower and not losing. Gets a little bit of a wake-up call while checking that bush.
Yeah, they're not letting R farm at all. Shark is always in the vicinity trying to bully anyone coming close. Guapsi is rotating over there as well. It's about to go down any second now, but Guapsi just continues on farming actually. Shark not caring about the tower at all, just engages. They are trying to get R as fast as possible, and yes they do. He's taken out in seconds. There's no question about that. Oh, but Vec Fantasy replying nicely, getting Poon out of play, but still they can't do anything. Kabuki is just still too squishy, and looks like going for that assassin build as well, actually.
Yeah, we do see Siori tries to lock on the basic, but does expel both of those. Has to use the Blazing Duet, is able to take down Masha, but we do see that not losing does pay for that with his life, and this turtle is going to be started by the Valley here. It is now a 3K gold lead only in the opening 5 minutes of this match.
Yeah, second turtle already going into the pocket of the Valley, and you can see how easily Guapsi is just taking control of the map. They don't even really care about the Karina anymore because she just isn't much of a threat right now, is she?
Well, what I want to point out is that the Karina is also going magic Karina.
Yeah, it's just
not even
yeah,
Karina.
Yeah, that's really troublesome. You know, she's gonna be so squishy. Ari's in trouble once again. They are following him, and Shark doesn't care about the turrets. He continues on. He has the health for it and gets the kill. It was all that easy. But they're on the chase. Karina might get it there.
Oh no! And he does get that extra health bar there, and here comes the rest of Rimuru and Guapsi are coming in here to try to support.
No way.
Is coming down, does take out Shark, and we do see that Kabuki is going to try to get away as here comes Siori on that Valentina, is not able to latch on any more damage onto the rest of the Valley.
But basic doesn't let Kabuki escape either, and it's just a no-use situation over and over again, not losing. Blocking the bullets coming in from Claude, putting under a lot of pressure on that turret as well, and just look at this. Basic, what is he doing?
Inside there, he's going to cause a lot of damage. Yeah. I'm not sure this is the fight that he wants, but they are just, the Valley is all over the jungle. No matter what point, as soon as they win the lane, or as soon as they clear out their lanes, their theme here is not really even team fights or even fighting. They're just trying to clear out jungle. They're trying to refuse this the Karina assassin from getting any type of minions here at all, and they've been doing it all game right now.
Yeah, Guapsi as well already has the Guardian helmet, and he's pretty much unkillable now. I mean, he can sustain a whole lot right now. It doesn't matter how much of Vec Fantasy players are chasing him. It doesn't really care. It goes on to farm and continues on with his life. 3 levels above their marksman, you know, it's really looking easy for him right now.
I mean, just
I can already hear the Sarah McLachlan music in the background. For the price of 1 blue buff, you can support a hungry Karina today, because right now she is being starved out, and there goes Not Losing, takes another death, and unfortunately this entire team is starting to get starved out right now. They are hungry. You can see their ribs. Oh, got him here. We have another engagement here as Kabuki is trying to get away. Blazing Duet does come on, and Jules Cutie in a mess of trouble is gonna have to expel that flicker, but Shark is still chasing. And that might have not been the fight that you wanted, but Sayori does get taken down as well. It is a 3-11 game, and it looks like 7K gold lead at the 7-minute mark in favor of the Valley. Let's take a look at the items, Ryan.
Yeah, that I just want to say, you know, that was not the fight they wanted to take. Not Losing was out of the game as well. They were just outnumbered, and they just keep on pushing the Valley. And we can see, yeah, the build difference as well. We can see how far up actually passively Basic has been. He's been nipping up these kills from these team fights as well. And yeah, it's looking better and better as the golden stuff as well already. And you know, we haven't seen Hoon as much as we'd like, you know, the last time as well. On Julian, he came into play very late, but he's providing these knockups, and this is what matters.
Yeah, I feel like it's been more of a utility. Oh, Guapsi does dive out. We just see that Newman on blast coming down. Does catch 3 members of the Valley. Are they going to be able to capitalize on it? As here comes Jules Cutie into the fray. R comes down, but this is not the fight that he wants. Is not going to be able to save Sayori, who does go down here, and they are on the chase for R right now. Up at the top lane, you can see R does get cornered in and taken out underneath his tower.
Yeah, there's no escape right now for Vec Fantasy, and you can see, you know, it doesn't even matter. Even if they scare one player away, forcing one player to recall from Valley's side, it's usually Shark and Guapsi still standing. They can sustain, you know, tower rates very easily. They can dive as much as they want and replenish their health right away. It's just going down the hill right now for Vec Fantasy. They could pick up something. Jules Cutie is being very relentless, chasing these 2 players, but trying to save his own health as well, but dies in the process. That's very unfortunate there. Sayori, but nice. Not Losing today comes into play, but that Numinum Blast is being interrupted, and they get Sayori out of play as well, and all of the team follows up in quick succession. R is being deleted. It's a total wipeout, and this is sure to be game over now.
Yeah, we do have that Lord coming in from top, and here comes Kabuki, but there's really not much that Kabuki's going to be able to do here unless he like dives in on Rimuru. Oh, we do see that he does come in there, but Rimuru do get down Hoon, and Rimuru is able to take down Kabuki as well. That's a ton of damage.
With an excellent pull.
Shark as well. So, I mean, they are still in this matchup. I'm not sure how well. I think that was more or less the Valley getting kind of sloppy.
Yeah,
really like an outplay by the side of the VFM here. Oh, and Guapsi does come in, diving in onto Sayori, and now we do have a Numnum Blast coming down. Guapsi does get caught with it. Here comes a Blazing Duet, and Basic, takes a heap of damage, but is able to teleport himself to safety. The Lord is being taken down by R right now as they are trying to salvage what is left of their base. 2 inhibitor towers left for the side of VFM.
Basic kind of overextended there, was already on the edge of the phone, and I think that was the damage it took so much, but had the monkey up, could pour it out just in a second, you know. I think, yeah, Valley's being a bit overconfident right now, but if they keep this up, of course, and if Guapsi and Shark stay alive, they can very easily finish this if they want to.
Yeah, I mean, that's what VFM has to do here, you know, like they have to witness those mistakes, the cockiness, the arrogance, and then capitalize on that, and possibly might turn it around. The gold lead is quite substantial, but we cannot give up on VFM.
Yeah, we see Guapsi coming in there, is going to go ahead and ward off the rest of VFM as they go ahead and zone out for that buff. And right now, there's really not much that can be done unless they make a mistake and allow Jules Cutie to maybe pull them into the tower. But there still is so much sustain. They are starting to close in onto this mid tower. Looks like they do have a pop-up onto Sayori. Buffs or minions down at the bottom are starting to clamor up. And I mean, they're starting to kind of like tighten tighten this choke around this space right now, not even letting them get to the jungle or get any type of farm. We do have a concealed play, but Kabuki is not able to get over the wall in time. Ramu does come down here, does put on a lot of damage from Sayori, and a Numenon blast does not catch up to them, and Kabuki in a little bit of trouble as there was no follow-up from VFM.
Yeah, it's just crazy. They need up everything. Rumuru, he was the only player left alone, pushing one lane. But he can hold his own so well with Paquito. You can see that there. Gets the combo up, gets 2 knockups. And there it is. Okay, once again, Basic a bit too eager there, but does get a kill. And that still leaves Vec Fantasy 1 man down. Meanwhile, Glops is just soloing the Lord there by himself. And that's just how easy it is right now. They can still keep Vec Fantasy on a chokehold. And I think it's going to continue on like this.
I'm not even sure there actually was a basic in there. I thought there was. He got dusted.
He literally got bopped on the forehead. The base shot him, and then he vanished.
Yeah, but right now they are going to try to make something happen. Jules Cutie, we do have the rest of the team coming in here as Jules Cutie is trying to keep them at bay. Numenon Blast does connect onto the Masha, but that is 3 health bars that you're trying to take down and waste a lot of damage onto. Removal coming in does miss with those knockout shots, and down goes R. Shark, just nothing was able to stop him from diving into the back lane there. Now Kabuki's going to have to try to get out of the way, try to back up here as they are 1 person down with a Lord coming into the top, and Swabsy's actually putting on a decent amount of damage onto this core. Here comes the Lord up at top. Lanes are synced up at the mid and at the bottom right now, and they are going to get a lot of value out of this. I'm not sure if this is going to be the final push for VFM. They are fighting their way in here. Shark is trying to come in here to bash his way through all the damage onto the core. I think this is going to be game 2 for the Valley, and in a dominating fashion.
Well,
you do take that. The Valley does take the dub over VFM here. Out of the best out of 3. Finally, I mean, both teams are giving a fight, That match looked a little bit like a slaughter fest, I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah, 2086 can look like
tried.
Yeah, they did.
I don't want to call it a slaughter fest. I mean, it was, but I think the problem happened during the draft. Is when you put that, when you have that Karina, when you have an assassin, and that's the problem with assassin jungles right now. You need to be able to protect them, because that's why this tank meta is so strong right now, is that if you can use that, if you can invade them, you're already gonna, first of all, you're giving yourself up more, you're getting more gold, and you're refusing that gold to the enemy, which is starting to put you miles ahead. And not just that, once you've taken away the fear of being ganked on your side, now these guys, as soon as they clear lane, they don't have to worry about being ganked because they know that the Karina is being starved. So what did they do? They started invading the jungle. Now the entire team is participating on this invade and refusing every little buff that they can. So now you're setting back that Karina even further. And that's the problem with using an assassin without something that is there to protect them in the early game. And we saw the Valley saw that, they recognized that, and they charged in right away.
No, I mean, they did really well. The biggest thing that I was seeing from even the last game to this game that changed was the constant pressure, the constant invade. It also seemed like communications on the side of the Valley was looking good. The flow was great. I don't think they could have done anything better.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Moscow was also kind of a hit or miss, and just it dropped off a cliff really, like mid game. I think early on he could like clear these waves, hold his own during these ganks, but yeah, it's just not much you can do there. Honestly, he couldn't really land the stuns as well with the ultimate, so.
Yeah, a rough game for sure. Such a great opening for VFM there to get that first victory off of them. It looked like there was a little bit of growing pains on the side of the Valley, maybe getting a little bit more adjusted. The synergy wasn't there in that first game, but they definitely made up for it in those next two games because there was follow-ups. Every single time an ability went off, every single time Shark went in for a stun or for a pick, he was able to be followed up by the rest of the team there, and that's what was lacking from the first game. I think they were kind of messing around, maybe not taking it as seriously, but after that first game, I mean, you definitely have to take it seriously now, especially with R, and they did a good job not just singling out R, but singling out R and being able to kind of enforce their will in that jungle, which, I mean, it was such a great game plan, especially for this early game advantage. So a great outing for the Valley here, as they add Shark and Hoon to that roster there.
That was a good debut. Quite the battle. VFM coming in. I mean, they did really well in that first game. Absolutely killed it. They showed us that they were the play. Yeah. No, they were absolutely killing it. I was like, what is VFM about to upset this whole tournament? Like, did the meta change VFM?
Well, I mean, it was a great game. It just, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like maybe they kind of, I feel like the Valley kind of took advantage of maybe some hero pool issues. Maybe like there was they did a good job of answering, of retaliating by banning the glow, by making sure to lock down. Like there was an answer for it. Whereas on the side of VFM, I didn't really see counters for things, or at least counters that I thought were more favorable. When you pick an Akai on the other team, for Guapsi picks up an Akai, I didn't really see anything that was going to stop or prevent the Akai, or stop him from kind of running wild on them. The second or the third game there, when they had the Claude, there was nothing. Claude dove in and he had no fear. There was nothing to stop him. The only thing that he, and that's why he kind of got caught out there at the end, is because he had no fear of his blazing duet being stopped or stunned out, because there was nothing on their team that could do that, that possessed that ability. So he just went out there, he's like, yeah, whatever. And then when he got shot, he's like, oh yeah, that's right, they can actually still do damage. So so he did kind of get caught there. But I mean, that's kind of that's the difference in the strategies that was happening there. And I didn't really see too many answers on their side. But I mean, that's in the past now. We are going to get set for ethereal. Is it ethereal or ethereal? I can't remember. But they're going to be taking on Insomniacs here, another one of the newer teams here in the squad league.
Both did make it into the NACT. You know, like into the streaming aspect. So, so great teams. I don't think there's like really any huge big changes in lineups from what I was seeing on these two teams. Everybody kind of stayed about the same. I want to see what they can definitely bring to the table, though, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys have kind of changed up with the meta. I mean, and that's the thing too, with how well that they play together. If they've been scrimming together, if they've been able to get those games together, because I mean, like, this is kind of at the point when you start noticing that stuff. Once you get up to this level, the squad league, the challenger tournament, things like that up in NA, those weaknesses, those holes that you have, those things that you need to work out, they not only get shown, but they kind of get shoved in your face. You know, like, you don't want to do practices every day, or only like once a week you're doing practices. You're going going to see that when you go up against some of these teams, especially against a team like Insomniacs here. So I mean, and that's definitely what we're going to be seeing here as well, to see how well Ethereal has kind of come up, because they've had a rough start here, and not that I think I or most of the rest of us could probably do any better, but like this has been like the wake up call for them to know like this is the type of level that you're going to be competing at. Like, and these dudes don't mess around. They come in hard. They have a plan. They have a plan during draft. They communicate well, and that's basically what you're going to be going up against here in the squad league.
What I want to know is like, what I really want to see is just like these crazy meta changes. We've seen like Glow. I mean, that was quite interesting. Played really good in the favor, you know, of VFM. Can other teams come out with these weird picks, you know, like can they change the meta? Can they take this tournament to a whole nother level?
Yeah, I feel like with Glue, you know, we haven't seen him on top level a lot, mostly because Faramis and Valentina are very good counters for him because of the little blobs of him. You know, Faramis instantly kills all of them, including himself, because of the damage bouncing around. And I feel like Glue all around, you know, he's a good counter to very strong sustain heroes. He can jump on. You know, he doesn't take. He can't be, you know, lifestealed from Thamos, for example, who he shut down very easily. And even though the Thamos remains in the meta, you know, he's not really like he's not unkillable, obviously. And I think that's what we've seen a lot. You know, we haven't seen, for example, we didn't see Lunox in the meta for a while, and now she's back because of the update to how she deals damage to higher HP enemies. And I think that's kind of like a very good changes, because it forces people to play with a bigger hero pool, like there was mentioned already, and that kind of like sorts out the best players, you know, who can adapt to every situation.
And another thing that kind of popped up, you know, is that we've seen a Valentina pick right already today, and it was a loss. Like, is that the second loss in the NASL right now, Private?
For Valentina, I'm not sure. It's been so long since we messed with.
I feel like she had like at least like an 85-90% win rate, you know.
Yeah, she did, but I feel like she still had I know as a NA as a whole, she has at least 3 losses, especially coming up at the end there, where teams were min-maxing in the grand finals how they play some of these heroes. But I'm not really sure how well I know she was quite far up there as we in the NASL as far as, but that was like a month ago, so I'd have to check.
Private's like, you know, scratch.
I feel bad. I hate, because I love doing all these stats, but it's been so long since I've looked into to some of those ones.
Yeah, in the NACT, she had a 73% win rate and close to 100 pick and ban, and I think that kind of still remains on the highest level. I think we've seen that in MPL still as well, because, you know, like we said, that one draft where she got introduced right away, you know, you have to, when she comes out, you have to shape your team around that as well. You know, you have to think of you know, what ultimates she can steal, how that's gonna affect your game.
Yeah, she's we did see on the last one that a lot of those hero picks really did not rely on their ults too much, or at least not an ult that she was able to kind of steal from them. So I guess that was kind of like a key for most of them.
Maybe a too early pick of a Valentina, stuff like that. You know, that all comes into play. You know,
yeah.
I just, man, these teams they're throwing me for a loop every patch. It's always something different. The biggest thing that I haven't seen, that I'm surprised I haven't, is an Axborg play. You know, like I faced a lot of Axborgs recently.
Oh yeah, you know? Because of the update now to the magic damage. Yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't seen that, to be honest. I mean, what's your guys' take?
I was actually just able to look up Valentina before this match in the squad league. She had 100%. So congratulations for ruining that. I'm just kidding, but like,
Jesus.
she has like a 97% pick ban rate. She was picked twice because she's
190%,
always.
you can see, yeah.
No, yeah, 97% ban rates, but she's picked twice and won twice. So this is gonna be her first loss in the NASL. Xborg, I haven't seen him too much. I feel like I'm not sure how much the magic he scales off of magic damage now, but it takes a while for something like that to set into people to have a formidable plan with it, because right now like the way he is used is to kind of counter the tanky meta, and especially with Hunter Strike, it gives him a lot of speed to be able to go around. The magic, I'm not really sure how much.
Yeah, I mean, his whole point is still
useful.
like the true damage, he's used because of the true damage, like most of these heroes trying to melt down enemies, and yeah. I mean, I think the magic damage, is just justified to use the Ice Queen one, but yeah, I haven't seen him much. I've seen him like jungle twice, and it wasn't really anything crazy, anything you can't stop. I think better update for him was the fact that, he can restore the armor during moving, and I think that's like a big quality of life change for him.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then the next thing that I'm seeing slip through the cracks a lot, Julian. What's up with that? Like, why? Like, I haven't seen like one priority ban on him. Like, people are more prioritizing Fannies. I can understand the Kai. I guess I understand the Fanny because she's just devastating. But like, so is Julian. Like, he's a fighter mid.
Yeah, I think the early game damage got nerfed, and so people are not like too scared of him now to like worry about him. We haven't seen a lot like invades as well happening against Julian, so yeah, maybe there's some other viewpoint here.
And even watching the Valley, watching Hoon play him, he really wasn't shining on Julian. Like, he was still doing great, but it was at more of a supportive role.
It's because of the cooldowns, you get the knockup so often.
Yeah, so he was able to kind of he was always there with a knockup. He was always kind of a utility. That's the word I was looking for. Is he was more being utilized as a utility from Hoon. That last game, yeah, sure, Hoon got a decent amount of kills there, but I mean, the entire team was basically
there was double digits all around.
Yeah, at a drive-through or at a buffet there. So, but like even in the second or the first game, he seemed like he was more being used as a utility than anything else there. So I mean, and maybe that's what he still is dangerous. Those cooldowns are a huge factor for his pick ban rates right now. Same thing. He's kind of like at the same I want to say path that Valentina is. There's just a lot of tools in their kits that's for a great player can just be a menace for the team. That even Valentina, not even talking about her IMU, we're talking about just other abilities where she gets more XP, passively gets more XP, and also gets a health regen from her abilities if she's got more, if she's a higher level, if she's the same level or a higher level than the person she's hitting, which she's going to be because she gets more XP. She's going to she gets regen off of her of her abilities. So I mean, it's just there's some of these heroes have so many different things that make them such a threat that it's going to be a while or a lot of tweaks until we see them maybe fall off. Like, I mean, I think I talked about it with somebody else. There were some heroes I wish I would see back up there, like Carmilla or something, but they got nerfed into the ground, and they just have not seen the light of day since.
Oh yeah.
But it's been pretty interesting. I am kind of sorry. I wanted to see a little bit more of Vexana, because Vexana was really the main talking point for a lot of people, because she got revamped.
But she got a nerf now again, and yeah, it's just I'm not kidding. I played like 8 games with the new Vexana. I won all games, and now after the nerf, it feels a bit underwhelming, because the knight deals less damage, and the automatic follow is just was taken away. Now you can like tap once to position the knight close to you, but it just doesn't seem as fluid, and I think they took away like what was the original purpose of the revamp.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this develops throughout the year. I know there's probably, I think it's going to be next month. We're going to be coming in to the new emblems are going to be coming out. So that's going to be a really interesting twist on Mobile Legends, because I mean, I think that right there is going to be the biggest change. I almost want to be like, bro, I don't think I want to play that week, because
it's just going to be
change
mentally
everything. Everybody's going to be, it's going to be day one of the emblem system. You're going to still have people complaining about, why are you using that? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for the guides first, and we'll see if after that.
I'm going to wait for the professionals to put up their YouTube videos to tell me what I should be doing, and then maybe I might test it then. I think we might actually still have the squad league's still going to be going on for the rest of this month, and then I know that they're still having competitions overseas, so maybe somebody will one of these lovely teams will be able to show us what is strong with these emblems.
See, we have new heroes coming as well. We have Fredder in the newest edition. He won't be featuring here, of course, because he's just released. But for me, he feels like an improved Lapu Lapu, honestly. And I don't think it's going to be like that much of an impact on pro play.
Yeah. Well, if you guys are tuning into the NASL right now, and you guys are new, thanks for stopping by. Just wanted to give you a shout out. If you guys haven't already, you can find all of our amazing casters links. It's in the description. There's also commands to find it in the chat. And if you guys didn't know, that the players in this tournament are actually playing for real money and diamonds. So we're looking at a $1,500 base prize pool. We also have a GoFundMe in the description as well. If you guys would like to support this league, definitely look at that. That's one place that you can do it. You can always subscribe to the YouTube channel, become a member. All of that stuff also helps pay some of the content creators, the graphic designers, and tons of other people that we have implemented into the background. So big shout out to everybody that is tuning in. Much love to you guys. And the teams are almost ready. So we are going to be talking for just a couple more minutes, hopefully. And we're going to be seeing Ethereal go against Insomniacs. Now, it's been a while since I've seen these two teams, like they were in the early NACT, and now we're coming back to the NASL. But to be honest, it looks like we don't gotta talk anymore. It looks like we could possibly just go right into this finally. And then take to see what goes down here. What do you guys? Who do you favor here without even looking at picks and bans so far?
Insomniacs.
Jeez.
No, come on.
I'm gonna go and say I am rooting for Ethereal. I would like to see them come up and show what they've learned through this little break that we've had, and to see some of the synergy that they have kind of come up on here. We're gonna go ahead, and they're gonna be having the first ban and first pick here, especially against a veteran team like Insomniacs. So it's gonna be hard, but I definitely feel like if anybody can pull it off, they can.
Absolutely, a link ban right away. Yeah, it's interesting, but it's still one of the best mobility junglers, one of these assassins who can still shine as a true assassin, and is very hard to catch. Recently, I've been seeing Atlas as a very good counter against Ling, as he can take him off walls as well. So there's always a problem, but we see that Faramis ban coming right away as well. So maybe we won't see Faramis at all today.
Yeah, we're probably not.
Really
the teams just don't. They would rather not deal with it and just throw it out there. Interestingly enough, I have seen as a counter to Ling, Dairoth has been getting picked up a lot more because of Dairoth's second ability that locks on to you. So if you try to run away, he's still gonna follow you. I've seen that used a lot with pretty good precision to like still be able to latch onto a Ling even when he's finished posing away. But I mean, honestly, if you don't feel feel like dealing with it, might as well get it out of there. It's one of those things that me and Trex argue about a little bit, because I'm not a huge fan of Ling. He suffers from the same thing that a bunch of assassins suffer from in that early game, or especially if he's from behind. From behind, Ling has a lot of problems. And if you start refusing him if you start losing that blue buff as well, you're basically starving him out from some of his biggest plays that he could be making here. We do see that Beatrix getting taken out as well. She's so versatile right now with the damage that she can output and how she can output that as well. And then plus once, if you're going to be using Wesker, the shotgun on there, if you have Malefic Roar with it, nobody's blocking that type of everybody's trying to get out of the way of that. It's going to be one-shotting people.
Yeah, I feel like why Beatrix is still like so good. She obviously hasn't faced a lot of nerfs, but they haven't really made an effort to like weaken like one or the other aspect of her as well. Because like you said, both weapons are very viable on her, and even sometimes we can see the rocket launcher in use, and we're going to see Julian being first pick. So this is something original there.
And no Valentina ban.
Yeah,
so I'm definitely seeing that Valentina's going to be getting picked up here by Insomniacs. So I'm wondering how well, or not.
Nani?
It's going to be interesting too, because if they leave it open, where are they going to play it on the side of Ethereal? They could probably play it on the XP lane. Maybe I've seen that happen. I guess it depends on what this.
No, we seeing export now. No, it's me, the jungle guy.
Oh gosh. Maya not the greatest pick. I don't want to talk crap about 9. Deuce Knights does use a very great Maya, but there's better picks out there, things that can get you out of harm's way a lot better. But this X-Borg, which you guys have been talking about a lot, we're going to see that here tonight to see how well that can be put out there, especially in the jungle.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Ooh.
Okay, here it is.
Hey. So we got 2 mages. Do we see Valentina roam? XP? Like, what's about to happen here, guys?
Yeah, this could be very well the trade-off. Honestly, against Thanos, not so good, honestly. But of course, there's still options to rotate in Insomnia. They could put Thanos to jungle. They could rotate it a little bit here.
It's going to be interesting. Valentina. First of all, I think we gave away a Franco pick that they're definitely going to be reading into. And the fact that Valentina wasn't an immediate pick kind of lets me know that this might not be a comp that we are familiar with. And we're just kind of leaning on the fact that Valentina is priority. So we'll see how well this works into it. Interestingly enough, we do have a Linux coming out here, but not exactly the tankiest lineup from Ethereal. And I'm sorry for that stutter there. I'm just wondering about the Diggy ban here.
I was thinking the same thing, because isn't it gonna come back, and now Insomniacs is gonna have that pick? So like their next ban has to be an Atlas.
Yeah, considering there have been no tank bans whatsoever. All right.
That's interesting. I guess they have their own roam in mind right now. The Diggy ban was immediately answered. Yeah, I'm thinking either going to be an Akai or something else that's going to help them set, possibly. Like they do have the Linux out there, so maybe something that's going to help stun them up. Maybe a Kufra, a Lolita is still available out there for Insomniacs, but they definitely have something in mind that they went ahead and banned the Atlas instead of letting that go through.
Yeah, it was quite interesting, and I'm actually surprised that Insomniacs banned the Atlas. You know, like it was. I know why they did it. I actually don't. I lied. They banned the Kai now, so I don't even why.
No. Don't do it.
You can't do that.
It's gonna be the Yin incident we had at the start of the season.
Martis might be pretty interesting here.
Yeah, we haven't even surprisingly.
We haven't
Surprisingly, I haven't seen him in pro level yet, even though the massive buffs he has got to that physical attack bonus, which have been just massive. He got like extra 100 or something, and it's just like crazy if you think about it. His damage especially. But I don't think we're going to be seeing him yet. Johnson, I don't think so either.
Johnson's not a terrible pick. He's just it can be countered easily.
It's the Martis. Oh lord. Oh.
Okay, so this is gonna be really interesting. We haven't seen a Martis pick too often in NA here. He did just recently get a buff to what was it? His physical damage that he does.
Yeah, physical damage bonus. Yeah.
We saw Martis yesterday in a match against Fanny, and on paper I like what they were thinking because Martis is able to kind of offset some of that, but it's just he has that telegraph before he goes in a certain direction that a lot of people are able to read and kind of sidestep. But I mean, if you can catch him just like the kind of camping in the bushes and then coming out and attacking people, he can catch a lot of people by surprise. And once he catches you with that first attack, it's a little hard to try to get away from him, to try to distance yourself. So it just depends on how it's going to be played here. I do like these drafts. I do like these drafts coming in here. We got the Lolita sets on the side of Ethereal. Yeah, these are all kind of not as regular as our normal picks. We got the Export and the Martis out here as well.
Yeah, it's lovely to see, and I mean the good part of Martis, of course, as well, is the CC immunity during his S2, which allows him, of course, there's like a delay, but it allows him to dance around very easily and just stop him from getting pincer down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're gonna see how well it goes. This is gonna be game 1 between Ethereal and Insomniacs coming up.
Yeah, no, I want to see how. Like they're clearly putting this Valentina in XP lane, right? Like that's has to be a given. Like they just have that. But now you're seeing the biggest problem here is if the export ends up going magic, right? Like what he possibly should be doing, you know? That's what they buffed him for. Their whole team on the side of Ethereal has way too much magic damage.
Okay.
Like they're gonna have a little bit of problem dealing with that. But then the Grok is they're weak against magic damage. So do they? Yeah,
early game Grok has some problems with magic damage because his passive no longer gives him magic resistance. When he's next to walls, he just gets physical, defense. Added to that he has no base magic defense, and then his passive, where he gets physical defense for every physical attack item he has, only works for physical. So he does need to get those magic items, and it might be a little rough for him at the start, but I don't think that they're going to go with a 3 magic damage dealers here, especially with the amount of damage you can output from a Valentina and from a Julian. That's more than enough to suffice for magic damage. So we're probably going to see like a normal movement speed, maybe a hunter strike to start it off, and then to try to get as many stacks as he can while he's roaming around on that export.
Yeah, so we've resumed the game now, and of course some pressure applied already with the Grok, and well, that's just a given. That's how we have to play Grok, and he's doing a good job there interrupting them, but nothing too crazy. He doesn't get the buff, of course, and meanwhile that Julian is being pressured a lot in mid lane.
Yeah, they were able to force out that retribution from the X-Borg, and so he's not going to have it for this Lethal Wanderer. Yeah, when the Martis does come in there, and unfortunately Leonard does look like he's in a little bit of trouble here, does get picked off by R on that Thamus. Here comes Ash Cutie to try to put some damage on, but running a little late and not having enough to actually be able to do much to this Thamus, and they are still engaging up at top, but Thamus is going to have to go ahead and disengage from there. He's already at about half health, and this is what we were talking about before, like it's kind of some of the synergy that you sometimes get. You saw them force out, he's still aggravating him at this buff at the bottom. bottom. You see that hate is going to have to get away from there. Does have that emote out there, but they're still putting on a lot of pressure there.
But
Yeah.
this is what we're seeing from different from, you know, the other teams that we were seeing. Zia's favorite is there to support their jungle in the time of need of being constantly harassed, you know? Like, they're there kind of babysitting the gold, babysitting the jungle. But can Ash Cutie handle the Moss in the top lane, Private?
Yeah, we do see that they are trying to cut this lane. Ash Cutie trying to do the best that they can, but a lot of damage still going on the R. Another pause has been called, unfortunately, here. And we're gonna try to get this figured out, but right now, it's just the cohesion. We have one kill on the side of Insomniacs here. They are starting to get to about a 1k gold lead as this turtle is back up. We're gonna start getting back into the game here. We did see a little bit of engagement happening up at the top lane here as R does activate that Cauterant Inferno, but they're not going to be able to answer. It is Zia's favorite. We do see that last Insanity does come on, is able to answer and pick up the kill onto R, so they are in a good position to pick up this Lord. Does look like 1-2-3 is going to have to disengage here. Turtle down to about 10%, does get pulled out here, and it is a 4v5, but they're still not able to get into a good position. We do have that IMU from Ash Cutie is able to pop up the Grok, and they're still in a decent position here, but Zia's favorite gets taken out here from Pogi, followed by 1-2-3. So it is a 2-3 game right now as Linear is getting poked out by Pogi here.
Yeah, it feels like Pogi does have like the longest draw in these battles, but Linear is actually pretty good counter though as well because of the true damage. Pogi is gonna get the turtle now. It is uncontested, and they're trying to build that early lead. Pogi is chopping through everything really in the jungle, and Linear cannot catch up with this. Of course, he can provide that true damage if needed, and it's also good they managed to force R back early on because you can't let Famous really scale too easily. And I feel like Insomniacs, they need that mid-level power spike because of Martis. He falls off later into the game, and I'd like to see what he builds, and he will build as a tank actually.
Oh, what a misplay there, Greg. Oh, Yoon does come in with that blazing duet, is not able to finish anybody off. Does get hit with the Numenon blast and gets caught and taken out, and that's gonna tip the kills in favor of Ethereal here. What a great play there. They took advantage of a misplay there by Hate. Dove in, flickered, was not able to pick up the kill onto Clint, and the rest of Ethereal was there to make them pay for that.
Yeah, surprising that this trade happens so easily, and that Croc is once again being bullied a little bit, and we can see 1-2-3 trying to come back into this game as well. Oh, there's a fight going on actually, and Linear does get a kill onto Pogi. This is very important, getting that Martis out of play just for a second, even though there's not a lot of creep standing. Can't do a lot to gain a big advantage there, but you know, it just helps them breathe a little bit, and indeed, the Martis is building tank, full tank, I assume. Some people like to build Demon Hunter Sword on him because of his natural attack speed from his kit, but probably not happening.
Yeah, just the level changes, the angles that Xborg, that Linear was able to come in there at. Chef TZ might be in a little bit of trouble here. They are trying to put a little bit of pressure on, but not too much right now. Still 9 seconds left on this Lord.
And I want to show it, like the Thamos and the Martis both have cursed helmet. Like that seems like a lot of cursed helmet for a team. So they're looking quite tanky on the side of Insomniacs.
Yeah, a little bit of engagement here is starting. Zia's favorite is able to ward off the rest of them, but right now it is 4 members up on this turtle, so there's going to need to be some type of an answer from Ethereal as they are basically giving this away for free.
Yeah, Ash Cutie stole the Grok's ultimate, couldn't really initiate there anyways because they had no support around. But they're trying to close down on Yuna again, and maybe it happens this time, but no, Yuna is fighting back very bravely and gets back under the turret, and that's a great escape actually because that Grok is already here, and 1-2-3 could be in trouble. The wall is in place. Yuna, is he going for the kill? Yes, he does. 1-2-3 is going to fall, and Yuna escapes with half HP. That's very good.
Oh, what? No.
Yeah, Ash Kitty does activate that brilliance, and they are singing with the blast with the explosion. Ashley does get taken out there, and Hate and the rest of his team just a little bit low right now.
Yeah, just inches from a triple kill.
Yeah, sadly, and here comes Linear trying to disengage into the tower as Pogi coming in with those dashes on that Martis, and looks like they're going to go ahead and reset on the map. Still able to hold their own right now is Ethereal, 6-6 going into the 6:30 mark.
I'm actually surprised that Ash Cutie is holding the own against a Thamas in that top lane. Like that's a nasty counter, you know, like. It's so hard to handle him as well being a mage. I guess it's just the dash kit that you get.
Yeah, the double dash.
Yeah, and then just like again the Julian's constantly rotating, but the gold lane.
Yuna actually very low HP as well, but the Grok just in position. Zia saved gone too much there anyways, and yeah, that's just as easy as that. And now we can see that the Clint is having difficulties, and clearly. Once again, slowly, Albite is coming into game. That Claude, I think we're gonna see him in a few minutes, much more of that. But there's a little bit of a fight brewing on top lane. Not too much right now. Insomniacs being careful themselves. Ash Cutie does have that Grok ultimate still ready to use.
Yeah, they're just kind of holding it out, you know, trying to hold it out.
Doing a good job of making sure that top lane isn't really getting too engaged on. We do have a 4-man engagement onto this turtle here. Not sure if they're going to be able to get it. They comes in there. Linear is able to get that turtle, and this is going to speak bounds. R might want to disengage from this, as there is a lot of tankiness on the side of Ethereal after getting that turtle. They got the shields from it, and they're going to go ahead and push on for the engage. Over at mid, though, there's a little bit of engagement coming on. Export getting taken down very low as 1, 2, 3 had to disengage into that bush. So now it's coming down to rotations now and how fast either of these members can kind of get into them. We do see that Ashley does come in there, does not get popped up there, activates that brilliance as Chef is going to have to disengage. Are they going to be able to get this tower? Hey, might be in a little bit of trouble, activates that wild charge, but and the flicker, they call him Twinkle Toes, as he is able to get away from that fight. And a little wall for good measure.
Nice little escape there indeed from Ace. And honestly, it was a big trouble for Ready on Insomniacs on that top lane, and it's nicely pushed in a little bit now. You can see the Yuna as well. He's switched lanes now, has to rotate over there, and well, it's not a problem for obviously to clean out the minions at the bottom, of course, but looks like he's been having to waste a lot of time as well, rotating around the map. He didn't really take control of the XP lane early on, and it's showing right now for Insomniacs.
Ooh, what a beautiful bait by Shettizi there. Forced out that wild charge, and then when the team of Insomniacs decided to charge in there, there was a Numenon blast laying in wait for them, but R, a little bit of a hiding of his own right now in this middle bush, is going to have to go ahead and disengage. Right now, Ethereal doing a very good job here right now.
Yeah.
Definitely had some practice over these last month. We do see a lot of damage coming onto this tower here. Linear taking a heap of damage from it, and so far, I mean, I dare I say it's narrowly, it's even, but I want to say narrowly on the side of Ethereal right now.
Yeah, I feel like when you let a Valentina into a game and someone that's decent, you know, like I would say a little bit better than decent as a Valentina, like it can stir trouble, you know, like it allows someone to have your same ultimates on the other side of the team, you know. So that, I feel like that's playing a huge factor, as well as this X-Borg. People have been sleeping on this X-Borg. And let's see if the Retri can come out on this Lord, though.
Yeah, they were kind of toying around right now. I don't think anybody's trying to get the Lord as much as they're trying to set up the other team. We do see a wild charge come in there. Blazing duet onto all the members. This might spell doom for Ethereal. They all get taken down very low. Chef TZ and Linear are still trying to man up with this fight. The rest of the Insomniacs are trying to get back. Yoon in a little bit of trouble, does get taken out. And Ashley is the next one left, but Pogi's still here. He does get feared, though, and has to turn around back. And he does get taken out. And it does look like that the rest of Ethereal is in a good position to take out this Lord. A lot of damage coming onto them, but they are all at 25% health. This might not be the fight you want, as we see Hate traveling his way around. Here comes the last Insanity. Is it going to be enough? It does. Take down Hate and the Lord, and down goes Ashley. We are in a great position for Ethereal to win this game with a great push here right now. R is powerless to stop this tower, but we do need to kind of organize ourselves on the map, get our wits about us, and as this Lord starts pushing in, start syncing up these lanes.
Yeah.
A huge mistake.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake of trying to contest that Lord with 2 people. I just don't feel like they would have been able to do it. I mean, as you can see, the team fighting is just a little bit on the lax side for the side of Insomniacs here.
Yeah, they did get a pick there, but I feel like the game says it's best. You know, Linear was godlike, and it's amazing how well he did there. And once Xborg has one of the key items, that is immortality. You have to fight him several times. He ramps up that heat. It will stay on you. He gets to spray you once again when he resurrects, even if he dies. You know, and it's a real issue. And you can see that from Pogi as well. He had no real chance of retaliation.
So they're already getting a decent amount of value from this Lord, able to take down 2 towers, only left down 2 inhibitors. There was only 1 tower down on the side of Ethereal, 15-9 game right now and 5k gold lead. They just need to remain calm and keep these like shot groups, these engagements tight. Don't get sloppy, because this is where it's most dangerous. As we take a look at these items, we can see that the Genius Wand has already been picked up, as well as that damage from the Feather and Twin Blades on this Julian. So he's already going to be doing a decent amount of damage. The Conceal Play does come in onto the gate. He is going to be trying to get away from here as Yoon gets targeted out as well. That is 1 down on the side of Insomniacs here as the entire team collapses onto them.
Yeah, that's a huge issue we've been seeing the whole game. I think that Hadiza has been out of position a lot. They Insomniacs kind of lose the focus. They can't really decide who to initiate with, and then it's Pogi who starts up the initiation. But with a weak hero that Marty sees, he usually dies. Even while building tank, it's not really easy. And well, once your tanks start getting killed as well, you know you are absolutely dominating the game.
Oh, we do see that Blazing Duet does come out there, and unfortunately, Ash Beauty is suppressed inside the top of the lane, is going to get taken down. Here comes the last Insanity. Hate gets taken down as well, so they are able to trade a 1-for-2 trade there, still in favor of Ethereal, even though they did get caught there. But 20 seconds left on this next Lord does mean that they are going to be in a better position than Insomniacs, as this one comes up in 10 seconds.
Yeah, Insomniac's still fighting the crashing waves. Yeah, that is true. And now there's only 1 inhibitor left.
Yeah, like I mean that was a really good objective push by the side of Ethereal here. Can Insomniacs pull this back around though? You know, like now, what is this, a Luminous Lord that we're gonna be having here? So this is gonna be an interesting bout. Let's I don't know. Insomniacs is pushing in though. It's gonna come down to Retry.
Yeah, Hadiza has to be deadly here.
Yeah, it's going to be looks like a full team fight, but the Lord does get pulled out. He's going to be reset. So we have a team fight happening here right now. R in a little bit of trouble here, does activate that Cauteran Inferno, but it is not enough to save him from that true damage of that export. And now they are in a great position for this Luminous Lord. See his favorite in a little bit of trouble trying to take out that damage with that shield, is still able to zone out the rest of Insomniacs as an easy Lord goes over to the side of Ethereal.
Yeah, like we discussed, you know, it's really hard. They are pushing Hatiza away as well. He doesn't stand a lot of chance against the Julian's damage, who has that magic penetration as well. It's really hard, and a lot of these combinations as well. Julian export combination, what we've seen, 1, 2, 3, getting these knockups and then Linear following up. It's been working very effectively. And they can single out the players anytime they want, like you said as well. Or is having a lot of trouble against the true damage, so can't really sustain for a very long while. And there is just Linear throwing himself in. It doesn't care, he has the immortality. But there is Atiza replying at the right time. This is a massacre. Oh my lord, Ethereal is being taken apart now. They still have 3 standing and they are fighting back. Yuna has been taken out of play, and there he's getting the kill, I think.
Yeah, still able to take down 3 members of Ethereal, but this damage on Chef on of this Clint is still doing its job, and they're going to be able to take down this inhibitor. Unfortunately, Ashley does not.
Oh, suicide.
There goes.
No.
It's taken down, is able to get that last inhibitor, though. Linear trying his best to get away, but that is going to be a complete team wipe for Ethereal as this Lord is still crashing into the base. But they accomplished their job. Maybe not as pretty as they would have liked it, but that's all the inhibitors down for the side of Insomniacs.
Yeah, it's just a deep push at this point, you know. They did get the Lord out of play, you know. No time for emoting there, you just need to guard the base right now, and it opens up a little bit of a pathway for them, but most of the players are already up, you know. Luckily Linear is still on death cooldown, so there's still options for them to maybe push a little bit to Ashcutie as well. It's pretty vulnerable, but we can see the burst damage as well onto Ashley is pretty big, and there is really no option to just take these fights head on.
I mean, with that team wipe we've seen, that gives what, Insomniacs a chance to come back here, Private.
Yeah, and it does stop, it does give them an advantage because now they're able to go through their jungle. They're able to pick up that stuff from when before they were being starved out of it. And we do see a little bit of a concealed play, but it's not fast enough as the rest of Ethereal is able to respawn fast enough and try to disengage there. Zia's favorite up in the front line here, trying to engage. He does get that stun onto Hate, but the rest of it, the rest of the team is still starting to disengage. Pogi does get found out in that bush, is not going to be able to hide in there. A good job by Zia's favorite to read that out and throw in a little bit of damage there to call out Pogi there.
Yeah, Pogi is also extremely close to full build now. I think Yuna is already, and Pogi, yeah, only offensive item he opted for was actually Malefic Roar. Others are defensive items, and it's actually working pretty well. I mean, he's kind of like the one shuffling the cards. He tries to bait out the skills together with his CC immunity. It's working out, and now they're trying to contest the Lord. Once again, it has to be an effective one, and we can see 1, 2, 3 pushing the top lane in, and they have to fall back fast because the minions are moving in full speed.
Yeah, what a great engagement up at top. They're trying to split it in. We do see that here comes the Blazing Duel.
Linear gets it.
Is able to take down Chef. I think Chef just does go down. Linear is able to get the Lord there as they are chasing onto Loon right now, or Yoon, trying to take out this damage. Ashcutie does have that concealed play onto Pogi, who is trying to take out Linear. It's not going to be enough. Here comes that immortality. Does get activated. Ooh, a lot of damage though. Linear might want to watch out here. It's getting picked off. They are able to take him down, but this is now going to be a 3v3 as the Lord's going to come in here. All waves are going to be crashing in up at the top. This is the make or break it time for Ethereal. Are they going to be able to clench their first victory in the squad league here as they go ahead, split up a bit, trying to get these waves lined up as that Luminous Lord is making its way through the mid lane?
Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely can clutch it up here. It might be 3v3 if they hold out just a tad bit longer. They can make it a 4v4, but...
Yeah, Grok trying to get in there. It does get caught by Ashcutie, and we do have a Blazing Duet coming in here. Ashcutie does able to get out of the way there, and now we still do have the Lord in there, but not a lot of damage. Lord goes down here, and it looks like they are going to have to disengage here, and this is kind of a product of losing 2 lives before you got the Lord there, as now we had people who were still on cooldown, who were still at the base, who had died, and they weren't able to make it back to help with this Lord push. So it is kind of a wasted Lord there. We already have all the inhibitors down, so there really wasn't much value that they could have gotten from it if they didn't have all of their team.
Yeah, honestly.
Welcome to the NA pause meta, boys.
Yeah, we see these comments a lot in MPL, by the way. Like, there's a lot of comments about the posing. People are really unhappy about it.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Sometimes a lot of typical problems happen, you know.
Yeah, Yuna sold the boots to buy Has Claws. It helped a little bit with the sustain there, as we could see. Definitely worked out a bit, at least clearing the minions. But it's pretty much still a 5-on-5 clean fight coming up the second we resume. So.
And the second we resume,
we'll see who's quickest off the trigger now. Let's see.
Okay, listen,
Pause gold,
Why am
I
I
think?
pausing again?
What is going? Okay, I guess we have to.
Yo.
Yeah, so we are going to go ahead and go into a pause right now. Right now, it's still a pretty dominant game. They do have about a 2k gold lead, does the side of Ethereal. However, it is starting to slip more and more from them. This is what happens as we start getting into the late game. There's only so long that you have an advantage in these games before your advantage is gone and you're basically tied up. Then it just comes into raw engagement and synergy because you've got all of your items. You can't get more than 6 items. So I mean, after that, it's basically how well your team is kind of coming into these pushes. Right now, I kind of feel like Insomniacs is starting to win these engagements. They're starting to surprise, as especially how Ethereal is starting to group up with a lot of these fights toward these last few minutes. We've seen them group up. They get caught with the wild charge. All of them get popped up. Then in comes Pogi with the Martis to keep them popped up. And meanwhile, you have Yoon in the background with that blazing duet, just comes in and raining down damage onto them. So they have a great plan here that's going to need to be answered by Ethereal, I feel like, if you want to kind of continue it, because I feel like this is going to come into play, especially as we get into this last what is potentially going to be the final Lord push here, or the Lord get, not push, because we don't know who's going to get it yet.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time left for it as well, actually. So first off, Insomniacs can focus on winning the lanes a little bit, just expanding the play field, you know, and actually they're searching for these one-off picks already. ATs are just searching for them, and yeah, once again we see 1, 2, 3 split pushing, bottom lane there, cutting away the minions, letting them free, and just stopping Insomniacs from advancing any further.
Yeah, and I agree with Private. You know, I agree with you. You know, like, we are seeing Insomniacs actually turn the tide with their comp, their items. We just need to see one of them be able to zone out and take a Lord.
Yeah, we do see that Zia's favorite does go ahead and check that bush, does discover R and Hate in there. There's not really much that's going to be able to be made happening here. Maybe not the kind of fight that you want. The team's still trying to show that they are kind of like on top of it. They are able to kind of close the ranks in around there right now. And what we're seeing right now, the entire team starting to get a little bit lined up. Down at the bottom lane, we see that Martis is pushing that lane a bit, possibly to try to line it up so that there is something that Ethereal's going to have to push here when this Lord comes up.
Yeah, I think what another problem is, you know, Insomniacs have 3 players with very tanky builds, and we see pretty much 1.5 from Ethereal's side. It's going to be a big problem, especially during these Lord fights. You know, Linear does have immortality, but it doesn't count for much. It's going to be taken out immediately. He can't ramp up the heat. He's probably going to be focusing on 1. And well, so far so good for Ethereal. They do have control over that pit, but Insomniac's ready to bite any second.
Yeah, I like that they are pushing this bottom lane here with the Julian, so they are going to go ahead and take that Thamus away there. And wow, Pogi able to steal the Lord here, and this is a 21-minute Lord here, so it's going to be stronger than ever. Here it comes, a blast, able to catch 2 members of Insomniacs. Pogi pays for it with his life, followed by Hate as well.
It's going down.
We do see an immortality is activated on Yoon. Is he going to be able to get away? Blazing Duet is activated. He's trying to run away, gets taken out. They're not even going to need the Lord right now. Here comes Ethereal, trying to push in. They're trying to rotate the damage. Oh my god, I'm not sure if this is the fight that you want here.
No way.
It's so low. Tower lock, for the love of God.
They didn't get it. They didn't get it. There's still SQT and Zia's favorite standing, but they can't go alone. Oh Lord!
Yeah, they're trying their best right now to get these minions lined up, but this is a 21-minute Lord. Eventually, you're going to have to answer this.
Yeah, I mean, Insomniacs can write a survival guidebook after this game if they do manage to turn this around, because this has been intense. How did they survive this? But yeah, I feel like Chef DZ as well dropped too early there, and at least, you know, that's. I think that Lord is going to be stopped still, but...
This perilous fight at the bottom as Lolita trying to
yeah.
the Lord.
Hammer
Might
against
just push
Dax.
it in.
Yeah, they're trying there. We just see Ash Cutie is over here trying to take out these waves. Not really able to do much. Look at half her health right now.
Yeah.
So they need to be careful. This is what we were talking about, getting too greedy at the end of this game. Chef doing his best to chunk down this Lord. It is down to about 10% health right now. So they are going to be able to stop it. But now you are almost at inhibitors. The top lane looks like it's going to be matching that as well, since we do know that the side of Insomniacs is going to go ahead and start pushing in these lanes. So we are now at all inhibitors for the side of Ethereal, and this game it's now anybody's game.
I was about to say it's gonna come down to who can turtle the best.
Well, that's a surprise there, but yeah. Chef Easy, he has been silenced a lot this game, honestly, and he hasn't really come into view because, you know, Clint just supplies these long-range shots, these crits over the range, but it hasn't been really making some sort of an impact because of so many tanky heroes we have right now in Insomniac's side. They can just shrug it off and reply very easily, and we can see that 1, 2, 3. Obviously, he can split push either. All of these waves are crashing in, and suddenly all of it's just turned around.
The only positive thing for right now is that well, for Ethereal, is that Insomniacs aren't going to be able to freeze the lanes just because they have no towers, because that means that they're going to have the powerful minions still coming at them. The Lord is still being started upon. If you're going to start on it, here it is. We do get vision. Zia is going to go ahead, give everybody vision right now. They are starting to come up. I'm not sure if they're going to go ahead and contest this. Here comes the last insanity from Linear. It's a little early, though. Not enough damage on it. Here comes the blazing duet. They're trying to whittle down this Lord. Pogi's still able to get it. They need to win this fight, or this Lord is going to be pushing into their base. Zia trying his best to run away from 2 members there as the rest of this team is trying to disengage now. And this is where men are made. This is like this Lord right now at that 25-minute mark. If you need to stop it before it gets to this tower, or there is going to be nothing to stop it from putting on this damage into the tower. We do see the damage starting here from Linear. Here comes Pogi. The charge, down goes the tower. One charge pops up 2 members. Here comes the blazing duet, and more damage coming out there as well. Down goes Ash Cutie. 2 immortalities have been activated. Argo's down here. They're reversing it. To chase it down. 1, 2, 3 is on the chase right now. Chef Teasy thinks twice about trying to go in on this, and this is a back and forth game. Is right now it looks like Insomniacs are on their back foot.
Ethereal escaped just like Insomniacs did 4 minutes ago, and it's crazy. Chef Easy, what a turnaround that was.
Die to minions?
Well, it happens. You know how strong these late game minions are? They're crazy.
I was just like, wait a second. How did X4 just die? How did Linear just like pass out? He got taken out by a minion.
Yeah, it's a 3-on-2 now. Good thing for Ethereal, of course, they still somehow have these 2 inhibitors standing, and quite firmly, honestly, because that top lane wave is still, well, quite far, I would say, and they still have to focus on deep pushing right now and waiting on Linear to respawn.
Nobody trying to make any mistakes. These death counters right now are massive. So whenever somebody dies, it's basically going to mean that they don't have somebody for like the next minute and a half of this game.
I mean, Linear was out for what, 70 seconds now. It's for a very long time. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not taking naps anymore. These people are taking vacations every single time they die.
Everybody better have immortality or some type of CC. We are seeing that, again, like you were saying, though, Linear did pop that ult a little bit too early and wasn't able to captivate another Lord.
Yeah, getting a lot of damage putting on Zia's favorite. The rest of the team isn't there to capitalize on it as Pogi does go down there. So now they are able to turn that around there. We do see that Zia's favorite is activating that immortality first, is going to go ahead, get back to base to recoup and re-up that health right before this Lord comes up. This is not the spot you want to be in. 62 seconds on Poke. Yeah. That is a retribution that is not going to be available for this Lord, and it looks like Ethereal is in a great position. They just need to be focused, need to be aware of where they are fighting. We do have a concealed play coming in.
With the shadow play.
No. All members right now with a blazing duet. There goes Ass Cutie going down right now. Numina Blast does get interrupted by the wall.
Still linear. It's still linear.
He's not going to be able to. Down goes Yoon and Chef. So both marksmen are out right now as 1, 2, 3 is running for his life. Zia's favorite trying his best, but down goes 1, 2, 3. I believe this is a 3-1 game. Linear really needs to make something happen here, or this might not be a good fight for him. I don't even know what he can do right now. Pray, I think.
This is a legendary game. We can see the waves crashing in and out as well. We saw how bold Linear was actually to move them up all across that bottom lane, but now it's just him, and he has to endure that for about 40 more seconds. Well, there is Ash Cutie and Chef Teasy on shorter timers, but yeah, it is a really tough task right now. He's up against 4, and that Lord is very simple to take for Insomniacs.
They just don't end it.
Yeah.
Everybody has like 50 seconds. Like.
Yeah, you have immortality, and you can just get it, but Linear, just jumps away. Still somehow gets away.
This is actually doing a good job of distracting him. There's still about 3 or 4 seconds left, but I mean, that's okay, there it goes. It's starting to get chunked now. He needs to find himself. Yeah, they're not gonna be able to get this Lord. They're gonna need to be able to fight it. And I'm not sure how you're gonna do that. This is about a 30-minute Lord. There's so much health on this thing right now. I mean, you saw alone how long it took them to even burst it down with their entire team right there.
Yeah.
I mean, items, everybody's full build. We're still looking for immortalities on everybody right now.
Sold his boots. Like,
most people are doing it.
Like, everybody's like, get these boots out of here. We need damage.
Yeah. They're ready for another shadow play, it seems like, and they're taking that buff first, but it seems like they're following up on that Lord any second now. Well, I think it's going to be melted, actually.
Kind of a waste here, honestly.
Yeah, honestly.
Went for the buff instead. We do have that concealed play. Here comes the wild charge now. Does pop them up. We do see that Yoon, Last Insanity does come out, activating that immortality. Here comes the Numenon Blast on the 2 members. Here comes that blazing duet, and he is able to get out of there, but we do lose 2 members on the side of Insomniacs here. So it looks like Ethereal's in a good position, but they've been in this position before. It's been turned around before, so they need to be careful about how they work these engagements. It does look like that tower is still alive there, so they still do have 2 inhibitors left here. Wow, I mean, what a great defense being put up by Insomniacs so far. Definitely not going quietly into the night. They are putting up a fight.
I think this might be the longest game of the NASL.
We see even more immortalities brought into play. I think we have 8 now. I'm sorry, 7, but still.
That's what I'm saying,
man.
Lord. Like, we might be going the full 45.
Yeah.
Full 45. What's the full 45? What happens after 45 minutes?
Never made it there.
Zia's favorite does land up a stun onto R. Pogi inside the bush. We do have the rest of the team trying to collapse onto it. Chains. Enhance does come on. Here
there
comes
R.
The blast, and it does look like R is going to be a little bit of trouble. Does activate the Cauterant Inferno. Here comes the last Insanity.
Yeah, but Linear
does finish off R here. This is 2 members down, but Ashley coming back up, so it is still going to be a 5v4 game. 46 seconds left on this next Lord.
Yeah, I feel like Linear kind of wasted his ultimate there just on R. The D was close to escaping though, so it was a good finish, obviously, considering the time that is needed to get back into the game. But now he still needs to... Well, he has that armor back now, but of course there's still Lord coming very soon as well, actually. 20 seconds, the question is it going to be challenged by Insomniacs now? Hetiza is pretty close to it, but there is not enough backup close there. And, well, there it is! Oh, Lord. Ashley just got melted.
Is using that wild charge just to escape out of that Numenon Blast, and here we have Lunar with that.
This is it.
He's going to be able to burst it down. He's not going to be able to. And Lunar in a little bit of a bad place. We have minions coming into the core right now. Are they going to be able to finish shit off right now. We have an immortality activated down at the bottom. A lot of damage coming onto this core.
This is it.
A quarter health. 10. The first victory for Ethereal in the squad league. And what a game that was.
Wow. Just wow. This is impressive.
Holy boys. Ladies and gentlemen, Ethereal first dub of the NASL.
And they did it in style. They did it with such a fight, such passion we haven't seen, I think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So we started this. First of all, congratulations, boys. Your Xborg shown through here today.
Deserves
12 and 4 on linear, and a great game played by him. And they were pretty dominant. A great job by Insomniacs to shut down Chef TZ here. I mean, he was doing great at the beginning. I want to say most of these deaths, I want to say at least like 5 of these 8 deaths came at the end there. So like when they had finally started like honing in on him. So he was still doing a great job, but just they started having an answer toward the end of that game. Like Ashley was just honing in on him. As soon as these engagements started, Ashley locked in on him, took out Chef TZ, and that's where some of these fights started going the wrong direction for Ethereal. And you can see from the stats here, 32% damage on Chef TZ here, but the big score here is Linear on that Xborg. Just played a phenomenal game. You can see Yoon here, 31% on that Claude, did an immense amount of damage there, being set up, and it's almost, I mean, you could see the Blazing Duet come in there, doing a ton of damage, but I feel like the real story comes in with Ashley kind of sneaking in there as all of this madness was going on that Linux, and able to kind of isolate the marksman, chase him down, and just start picking him off. And that was really what was turning the tide in a lot of these fights.
Oh, are you guys still there?
Yep.
Yes, we are still here. Just got quiet there for a second.
I thought like maybe we disconnected. I was like, oh geez.
I did disconnect from the lobby.
Oh yeah, give me a second. We do have to re-lobby. We apparently some people were experiencing some problems with server and stuff like that. And I mean, there's not much we can control besides being able to pick like East, West, or Central. And if there's an East and a West person, we gotta pick Central. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. So we'll see how things go here. So we are re-lobbying.
Yeah, we don't have too much wiggle room that we can do with a lot of these servers, especially, and that's kind of the problem when we are playing some of these non-live games. We're kind of at the mercy of these of the tournament lobbies. But I mean, it's kind of something that everybody has to kind of get adjusted to. Especially, I mean, New Wave does it, and they're all the way from South America. So like, I think the least amount of MS they're dealing with is usually like around the 40s or 70s. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the name of the game here when we're using tournament lobbies like that. But man, I hope that doesn't detract from just what a great game that was. Not just by one, but both of those teams. Insomniacs really, like, that game is the reason you don't force forfeit. I like when people want to like give up early in the game. I'm like, no, dude, you gotta play this one out, because you never know what kind of mistakes you can take advantage of, what type of pushes you can get from it. That was literally anybody's game there. Yeah. Except and it came down to just like those few mistakes, not being able to like when I think it came down to Grok and I forgot who else was pushing up the top lane, and they were still a pretty safe distance, but an entire team with a concealed play dove in on them and just really created a nice opening for them. And I mean, it's just it was an amazing play, but not really like this game is over at the like 15-minute mark, where it was still pretty dominant for Ethereal. But as we started moving on, like Insomniacs really put up a hell of a fight.
You ain't capping on that, that's for sure. Like they definitely came to play. Like you were saying, first time taking a dub in the tournament. Like that's huge. That's huge. Now keep up the charisma, keep up the flow. Let's see some more dubs.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how well these next few games go for them. I say few. Oh, we're hopeful. I don't know if we're hopeful for 2 more 30-minute games, but
Yeah, I just wanted to say, someone in the YouTube chat said that he wants 2 more 30-minute games. I think that we're not up for that.
Your team is banning.
I tell you, there could be smelling trouble, but I mean, they get first pick this time around. You know, maybe this allows them to do. We did try to re-lobby to try to fix some of the problems, but we can't always fix your internet. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, there comes a point where there's only so much that we can do with a central lobby. We do see that Valentina is going to get banned out right away. Definitely not wanting to deal with it. It was a decent amount of offense. I don't feel like Valentina had the greatest role to play, but it still was a menace and part of one of those links of success from Ethereal here. So definitely a good ban on their side.
I think Ash got a very big amount of burst damage down to Ashley, and that was kind of stopping Lunox getting into close quarters as well a lot of these times. And yeah, I feel like these stolen ults don't always work. You know, you still have to be very careful. You're still, you know, the same old squishy mage after using given a tank ultimate.
Run deep.
We still do see that the Ling is going to be taken out there. I mean, some of the shining moments about Ling. I know I talk a lot of trash about Ling because maybe it's a little bit of personal bias, but I mean, the maneuverability, the way he can negate damage, how fast he can move around the map is just such an essential tool for a lot of these teams to put pressure all over. And I mean, and it's something that I actually hate, especially as a marksman. When I play marksmen, I absolutely hate seeing a Ling on the other team because there's not much your team can do to protect you. You know, like Ling's gonna come in, he's gonna land his Tempest of Blades, then he's gonna dash to all of his swords, and then poof, he's back off on the wall. And while you're sitting there dizzy, not knowing what happened, face down in the dirt, and there's nothing really your team could do to stop it. And then we do see Beatrix getting taken out there. We were just talking about how essential her kit is, how much not just damage that she can do, but how much different types of damage that she can do, whether it's just a sniper, the Wesker, the raw damage that she can do with that shotgun, the machine gun, or even the wave clear that she has with that rocket launcher.
Yeah. And you know, like and you were talking about this Ling, you know, like I suspect every time I see a Ling ban that there's probably going to be an Eve, and I'm actually surprised I didn't see one last game. They do still leave a Kai open, Julian's open. Like there's some pretty good picks right now. Do we see a Julian first pick? Do we see the Kai? They do top it off to the Julian though. I mean, first
it's really
Julian's
interesting.
so
I don't
good.
really see the magic behind Julian. Like.
I said the
But
same thing.
yeah,
said
linear
the
again
same
with
thing.
Xborg, it seems. Yeah.
I'm telling you, people
they
are
really
sleeping on them.
They favorite. I'm not, bro. Well, maybe it's just because I am awful on Xborg. I find his the mobility problem with him so bad. But I've never actually played him with Hunter Strike, and maybe that's probably the game changer for a lot of people. You saw how fast he's able to get in there, especially with Hunter Strike, as he gets his stacks so quickly with it that he's just zooming around the map, which should be illegal on an Xborg, which how fast he can kind of maneuver himself in and out of fights. We do see that Sicilian being picked up, so they are going to be leaning into the very late game for that type of damage. We do know it takes him a decent amount of stacks. I want to say about 120, 140 stacks he's going to need before he really can start spamming out those abilities. And there, we were just talking about it, there is that Eve.
I was actually surprised it wasn't picked last time because Ashley is really insane on an Eve, you know? Like that's a good pick. Leaning a little bit towards more the magic side though, so they're gonna have to switch it up here. Maybe give do we see I don't know here. This was a tough one.
Oh, that's a lot of magic damage.
That is a lot of magic.
Or death.
That's
Okay.
gonna be pretty interesting. I was gonna say too that with an Eve out there, I'm definitely looking for some type of CC, some type of counter for it. You cannot just let a Eve throw down that real world manipulation and be like, all right, let's try to escape. There needs to be some type of
Yeah, but
answer.
the fact is, there are so many better options than Alice. I guess she's gonna be used as a roam hero, but I I can't really have a clue how is it gonna be utilized here.
Julian
We'll see. We
Jungle.
do see that Chef Teasy does pick up another Diggy ban. Dude, I'm baffled. I don't know.
I think
Yeah, the
it's
Diggy
What?
Force.
when they do that, it's forcing the other team to ban Atlas. So then it wastes the ban because they didn't really want a Diggy, or
They did it
didn't want
last
an
time too,
Atlas.
though. So
Yeah. I mean, it allows for a lot of marks. Well, I guess they already have marksmen. It allows for, you know, like good XP laners, jungles, tanks, you know, that keeps them off the table from being like banned.
that must be good scouting on the side of Ethereal. They must know that Insomniacs do not play Atlas for some reason, because that first match they banned Diggy first, which could have been really bad for Ethereal, but it wasn't. So I mean, and then we do see the Lolita is going to get taken out there. Respect ban towards towards them as well. There we do see the Cho getting picked up. I'm assuming that this is going to be a tank Cho. I love
It's
tank
an XP
Chos.
Cho, but
Is it?
I'm not sure. Well, right now
Guess
it's
we're gonna find out.
Yeah,
Balmon would
right
be
now
a
it's in the
really
hands
good
of
pick.
123, but we are definitely gonna be seeing another support here. I'm guessing.
Balmon would be
Really
huge.
interesting. I do like that both of these comps, they both have some late game, they both have some early game on them as well. So it's very well rounded, and it's gonna. I'm still waiting for that
Okay.
CC.
Okay.
Akai
I
could
can
be
see
a-
that come from Insomniacs working. Honestly, it seems.
They don't have a
Pretty
gold
well-rounded.
lane.
Is picking.
Yeah, they don't have a goal lane, which is interesting. Is that Alice gonna go gold lane then?
I've never, in my opinion, in any of these current metas, ever seen a team do decent with missing a gold lane.
without. Yeah, well, you
Okay.
do lose out on that objective taking ability, just that raw damage that can come down there, or even on like Lord and stuff like that. Because once you expel your abilities, you want to save those magical abilities for heroes. When it comes to objectives, you're not going to really be able to do much. However, they do have a Balmond to compensate for that. So
Yeah.
it kind of, I mean, I see what they're trying to do here, but we're gonna find out if they can kind of make up for this not having. They really don't have a ton. Well, I guess they have enough range. Not, I mean, so maybe. I mean, who needs marksman? Why? I mean,
Who needs marksman? You have Ive, you have Alice, you have
yeah. You have Alice, you have Eve. You do have a little bit of range from the Julian. So we're gonna see. I mean, this is gonna be bad once we get into mid to late game for Chef Teasy, because he's gonna get burst out of his boots. But
probably. Yeah, I
we'll
was
see.
just guessing.
Yeah.
If that Alice goes gold lane, and yes, it does. That means, you know, most likely Alice is gonna win the duels 1-on-1, because the S2 probably won't stop Alice once she's already like ported close to you, gets the stun on. Yeah, it's just gonna be like delaying the lane, of course, like with most mages, I assume. But I'd like to see more of how it's gonna roll out.
Yeah, so this is going to be game 2. Insomniacs on the blue side, Ethereal on the red side. Insomniacs, their last game here, they're trying not to make this their last game here, trying to put a victory out here. We do see a little bit of a fight here coming on for this. It is captured by a Linear on that. The Retry game, very strong with him, as he just kind of passes by Retries and walks away.
Yeah, I want to talk about something that we're seeing here. Cho is mid,
Yeah.
and
mean,
we have a
it's
Kufra,
not
so
bad.
it's not even a Cho roam. It's a Cho mid.
Well,
Yeah, it stays in the hands of 123, so I was expecting him to play it as a proper fighter, you know, not as a roamer. Obviously, probably it's going to be with the tank build, but still, the laning choice is pretty interesting here.
Oh, Zia's favorite actually might be in trouble. Oh, just
yeah.
narrowly. Chef
Oh, Chef
Teasy, why
Teasy,
would you
no.
do this to yourself? Is able to get away. Look at that. Here
The
comes
show
1,
is
2,
there.
3 coming in there. I'm not sure if he really wants this fight with the Jeet Kune
Okay,
Do. Does come
that's
in there,
silly,
and
yeah.
here are 3 members right now. He
That's
does
just
get
silly.
immobilized right now. Is going to try to get away. Look at him dancing around here. 1, 2, 3. Oh no!
Look, if you're gonna play
he
Cho-
does use the way of the dragon, but does get taken out there for a while there. I kind of question how long he stood there. He could have definitely Jeet Kune Do his way to safety, but decided to kind of still paddywhack, maybe to kind of create space for this first turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
for
Linear
the
does
first
get
turtle.
it.
Slain the turtle.
And yeah, Hatiza was late to it anyways. Poggy is just making pretty standard clears right now, but he's also being pushed around quite a lot. He doesn't get a lot to say in team fights. Maybe an opportunity here. As he is backing off, but the lethal counter goes down. And no escape there.
Wow.
Red team
What a great amount of synergy by them. They do get that stun onto Clint, and then down comes the real world manipulation. There was nowhere for him to go, and they are really dominating this early game right now, putting on the pressure and not letting up. They definitely don't want to go easy on Ethereal. They saw what happened last game and how dominating of a force that they were in the early game.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what we're really seeing though is, even though like they got 3 kills, they got a little bit of a gold lead, but we are seeing some key objectives being played. It's not all about kills. I mean, the Cho was able to keep the gold from being completely chopped off on that tower, because there was a lot of them down there.
Poggy could be overextending there, but probably senses the presence of Kufra there already and tries to recall. Yeah, no need to chase Cho as a Balmond, probably. Like.
Yeah, but right now I'm trying to think like, who is gonna be Chef's target once he starts getting up there? He's not gonna be able to do much to Alice.
Or is very low there, and
Yeah,
might
we
go
do
down.
see-
And yeah, the Cho
Does
lands.
get way of the dragon, take him down. Down comes the real world manipulation. Linear in a little bit of trouble down. No more health. And he does get taken down. He's gonna be able to pay for it with his life. Does hate. So a good trade, 4 for 2 right now on the side, and it's in Insomniacs' favor right now with 14 seconds left on this second turtle.
Yeah, the Kamikaze Panda landed, and honestly, it's actually a very good kill because Linear was taken out for a little bit. That buys some time for Poggy, who's already fallen behind, but still, that turtle pit is still under the control of Ethereal. It seems like Hatiza is in position. He can help out there, definitely. Cho is ready, jumps out, tries to focus on Poggy, tries to get him out of the fray there, and that might actually work out. And yes, it does win them the turtle. Very well played, actually, from Ethereal's
great
side.
set of Tyrant's Rage by Zia's favorites to get the distance and the time needed for his team to go ahead and pick up that turtle. Oh, and the chains, we do see that an enhanced change from R does go wide here.
I mean, both teams are looking good right now, even though they had a lot of the first bloods and the kills, you know? I mean, again, Ethereal is now coming back here, playing really good, and some of those good micros, like from Zia's favorite, being able to stop the Ballmon from being able to do what he excels at, which is like pushing objectives. Oh, way of the dragon. I don't know if it's
Yeah, it
enough,
does latch
though.
onto there, but it's not enough damage on him to be able to take down R. Ash Cutie, as we go more and more into this late game, I feel like Ash Cutie's gonna have a big problem. Oh, but he does get popped up there. Here comes the
Yeah, talking about
real-world
the problem.
manipulation. He is going to be able to get away. Linear coming up from the back. Last Insanity latches onto Ashley, and boom goes the dynamite. Ashley gets taken down. Linear is trying to make his escape, has all those stacks of that Hunter strike, and is going to be able to run his way to safety.
Oh yeah, that was an explosive team
Oh.
fight there, but we might see another one actually. They might
Oh, by the
gang
guy.
up on Hatiza there. Well, he pops the ultimate. Does it allow him to escape? Yes, it does, and gets away to safety. But yeah, I think we haven't been paying attention a lot to the goal lane. I think Yuna is doing a very good job there, actually denying the Clint most of the time, even as a level lead right now. And that's what you need, you know, just close him down. Don't allow him to move a lot as well. Even though he's not rotating away right now.
Oh my God.
That's going to be a very bad team fight. Ashley's going to be next if they don't get rid of Poggy. Well,
Yeah.
not a lot of damage, but it's still Linear's flames reaching Poggy. And there will be Ashley falling as well. There is Hatiza still standing but he eats up all the damage as well. Still escapes. Yuna doing a good job with the lifesteal. And this is the Alice's power.
Not have lifesteal.
Oh lord, oh lord!
1,
Look
2,
at
3.
Yuna on the trail.
Wow.
Oh, escaped.
Oh, took him to Juke City there. Not able to catch up is Yuna, but a 6 for 6 right now. So this game has pretty much been tied up. That last fight was just, man, there was so much going on. It was hard to keep track of who was actually winning, and it looked like it looked like basically a tie for both of them. We do see that Pogi is starting on this turtle. Doesn't look like there's going to be much in an answer from the side of Ethereal as they pick that up. And right now, a little bit of engagement happening up at the top. Ash Cutie does get taken down very quickly. Unfortunately, Chef TZ unable to do much there to stop that.
Yeah, it seems like whoop, that was a little bit of coming together once again, but it might be happening on mid lane. Honestly, Linear already gets the immortality as well, so he can engage a bit more security. Meanwhile, the tower might drop, and yes, it does. On top
yeah,
lane.
we were just talking about those kills don't mean nothing unless they don't mean anything until you start taking the towers, and now it does look like the focus has started getting onto these objectives. Oh, looks like Linear in a little bit of trouble here. Is a lot of damage coming in. We do have the immortality. Revenge coming in, and it is not enough as Dia's favorite gets taken out. Immortality has been activated, and Linear does go down as down comes the real world manipulation, followed by 1, 2, 3 going down as well. 3 kills unanswered by the side of Insomniacs.
Yeah, I mean, the Alice is actually the ace up their sleeve. I mean, look at how he just gets in there, gets the stun down, gets the lifesteal, and most of them struggle because they can't single her out as well. There's so many others to take care of, like Pogi, of course, like her as well. Ashley is still dangerous from long distance, so yeah, it's looking bad right now. For Ethereal suddenly.
Oh wow! It does look like Executie sensed that incoming conceal play a little bit too late. We do have that Tyrant's Revenge into the Tyrant's Rage. It is able to activate that immortality from Yuna, who does come in there now. A lot of healing coming down from her. Oh my god! Look at that flicker dancing around.
This is crazy.
What a play there! Is able to take down Linear there as the rest of Ethereal is forced to disengage there. Popped in with that teleporting ability she has, then flickered back out and still able to take down Linear there. What an amazing play there by Yuna.
Yeah, that's the clutch plays of Alice and Winter Trench. Like we from the side of Ethereal, we probably need to build some anti heal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to think about that. I'm sure Yuna has enough blood orbs as well by now that she gets the cooldown reduction from the passive, so it's gonna be pretty smooth for her to get these consecutive stuns landed on as well with Alice.
Yeah, I mean, the Cho and Kufra do have anti-heal right now. They do have the Dominance Eyes. Oh, Linear does, and a little bit of a trouble there, and they are poking around. They just cannot get a safe space. They're trying to out-rotate right now. It's the only way that they're going to be able to get, like, some safe jungling minions here, because they cannot match these team fighting ability of Insomniacs right now.
Yeah, it feels like when it comes crashing down to inhibitors as well, I don't see the deep push ability. There is a Sicilian, of course, who still needs to scale. It still needs to scale. He still needs levels. He still needs items, but he can do a pretty good job defending the base as well if he manages to stay alive. And this is a very important part here right now. Looks like they won't push that inhibitor any further. They switch it up, get into middle, and look at the distance from Ashley, of course, having to get that. Oh, damage down, and surprisingly they get rid of Hatiza, and there is the retaliation finally. Oh, well.
Yeah, we see that Pogi's going to have to disengage there. A lot of damage still coming down there. Chef TZ still trying to put on some. Oh, look at that suppression as that Winter Truncheon does activate, and he is able to take down Linear, but returns the favor, not before claiming down Clint as well. But there is nothing that's going to be able to stop this base push. Or is it that we do have 1, 2, 3 in Zia's favor, trying to fend off the stack? He does get popped up by an enhanced chains there. Here comes the G Kundo from 1, 2, 3. They are able to clear away those minions, but they are going to possibly lose this top inhibitor. Here comes Ash Cutie. Still does not have the damage that he wants. In comes 1, 2, 3. Way of the Dragon onto R, but now he's trying to disengage. There is the lethal counter onto 1, 2, 3. Real world manipulation comes out, takes down Ash Cutie. So much damage as we do have minions pouring in to the top and bottom lane. Down goes the bottom inhibitor as the top one looking to follow. We have minions starting to crash in, but it does look like the rest of Insomniacs are going to try and disengage from this and reset on the map.
Yeah, from the side of Insomniacs, like, they want to end this early, you know, like, because they have a lot of late game insurance from the side of Ethereal up there. Let's see if they can do it. The Alice is absolutely destroying it. Yoon Cutie just killing it. I thought, you know, maybe not having a marksman was going to be a huge problem here. But Insomniacs is making me eat my words and maybe, I don't know, changing the side of the tournament.
Yeah,
it's regrouped now. And they have all players standing. There is an opportunity to maybe get back something from one lucky team fight. We obviously saw that from the last game, how much things can change.
I mean, we're at the, they're at about a 10K, oh no, about an 8K gold lead right now. Look at how fast they're taking down this Lord right now, though. It's kind of remarkable. So, I mean, they're still kind of behind. They're still waiting on those mistakes from the side of Insomniacs. They're not at a point where they're able to catch up. And I think they're going to need to make something happen here because this next Lord push, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to withstand it. It is going to be a Luminous Lord. I'm not sure if it is. It doesn't have the strength of like those 18-minute ones. So there still is a chance. They just need to be very good, very tight, and very orderly about this next team fight as we do see this Luminous Lord coming into the mid lane.
Yeah, I think the second stage Lord only has a bit more HP, and then it does that half of Tara's health, true damage, which doesn't really matter because there are no inhibitors standing, there's only the base left, and there's not a lot of players left from Ethereal's side here actually to combat that.
Yeah, we do see that Linear is going to go activate that immortality. We still are spinning away, but there is not much you can do to stop that. Unfortunately, I felt like Kufra maybe jumped the gun, jumped in there, got popped up and taken out when he was the only real defense against Ashley on this with this real world manipulation. If he would have been able to catch them with the pop up, he probably would have been able to stop that real world manipulation if he had waited just a little longer. Great game by both teams, but we saw what appears to be more of a draft issue, especially the shutdown of Chef TZ. There really was not much that he was able to do against Yuna on this Alice at any point. And getting shut down there really kind of truncated a lot of the damage from Ethereal, and they just were not able to recover from that.
Yeah. Alice did a good job. It was a very right pick into that team. I think you could see how well Alice sustained. You know, against 3 heroes very easily. Just land the stuns, pretty much like playing Esmeralda. You know, but you are also much more useful.
Yeah, it's really interesting too. I love seeing outside the box picks. I mean, we were all kind of questioning it. There's no marksman on there. Was going to be an Alice on there, but they were still doing so very well there against it. He tried it, and unfortunately, that's probably one of the, I want to say, bigger counters for a Clint, because there's not, first of all, it's outside the box. You don't see it too often. You never really think about that, but there's not much that Clint can do. What are you going to build? Are you going to build a Demon Hunter sword on Clint to try to combat that? Or like, I don't even know what you do as a Clint in that lane. You're going to have to be leaning heavily on the support of your team. But unfortunately, that early game just was not there to support him. Even in the comp, it wasn't enough. They weren't going to have enough in the early game to kind of support him to get to take off like that.
Your team is banning. Your team is banning.
To live is to trick the Reaper.
Now Akai enters the scene.
Your team is banning.
It's gonna be interesting to see how this composition goes, especially through this banning phase. They immediately go ahead and take out that Akai. I'm assuming one thing that they are still waiting for, I think, is that Ling that is still open right now. But you're gonna definitely be leaving something open to put in that Ling. We did see kind of a shutdown there, especially in the early game. You kind of still need to make sure that you're rounding out these compositions as you go into these matches, or you're gonna suffer those early games, especially against teams that are going to be able to take advantage of that.
Your team is banning.
Run deep.
Yeah. Again with the Ling ban though, you know. I mean, maybe we're gonna see Athrio play Eve this time
Your
around.
team is picking.
It's going to be interesting. We still do have some pretty
This time
big
Julian
picks up.
banned.
Yeah, he is banned now. So we still have some strong picks up there left.
No way.
Okay.
No way.
They were like, bro, you played Alice way too good. Let me take
Yeah.
it.
Alice is the new picker band. This is
Pretty interestingly enough, because I mean, Alice is pretty late game. I feel like it's late game.
of course, she
maybe not how
relies
it's-
on, you know, orbs like Sicilian relies on stacks, so yeah.
But it didn't really feel like that last game. Like, she came online very quickly for the side of Insomniacs. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how well they can play this into it. I'm not sure if this is one of those attitude picks of like, yeah, you beat us with it, I'm gonna show you how to do it better, or if it's trying to open up something for them because they know how bad it was in their gold lane, which means that it would have to be either gold or XP lane. Wait, so I mean, it's not gonna be a mid lane. I just
Gonna see a third game Xborg again. Linear is just sticking to it, very confident in it, and it's very good against Samus. We've already seen that, you know, one of the
If
only
they would have just
options
picked
to-
Balmon, they would have had the same exact comp as Insomniacs.
Your team
Like,
is
there's the
banning.
Atlas and the Diggy. I'm telling you, it's I don't know, man. This is like a
Are
waste
they
of
going for
bans.
it?
Come on, Dex.
No.
No.
Your team
No.
is banning.
Did they leave it open?
well, I know they're not gonna ban Atlas.
Look, these guys don't even
Maybe.
use
Or
marksman.
you
You
could
don't
give
need
it to
to
them.
ban
They already have a
marksman.
Masha. They already have a Masha out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Your team
What?
is banning.
There's a
Is it gonna be
Wan.
1-1?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We
You
shouldn't
better
be too
ban
loud about it.
Wan.
Okay, there it is. There it is. Yeah.
Now they get the Atlas. Do they go for the Atlas though? Like,
I don't
well,
think so. They already have the Masha
It's
out
maybe
there.
not the best
for-
option, honestly. Against Dive is good, but I feel like Alice can still do a very strong job against Atlas.
well, you also have the Eve. Like, you need some type of peel that can stop that real world manipulation.
That's true. Harith
Your
stays,
team is
and that's
picking.
gonna be mid Harith, I'm guessing.
I'm so confused.
Well, we already have Ashley. Well,
Are they not gonna go a gold lane
marksman
again?
lane. Is that going to be a marksman lane,
Has
Harith?
to
I mean,
be.
I've seen it.
Oh wait, Ashley is also already on a mage.
Wait a
so
second.
yeah, Harith. Honestly, Lunox
Forget
gold lane is more
everything
logical.
that you know.
No one
as-
has
as-
marksman.
Team is picking.
What?
As we
Okay.
as casters struggle here to try to inform about what this is, like
Yeah, so with the mages, no way. No way
Playing
we're
the
seeing
same
this.
game.
Oh lord.
Oh my god.
Okay,
know
this is not serious, isn't it? Come on.
Is this a tournament game?
Oh, Jesus.
This
That's
is the
a
stuff you see in
lot of
Epic. You see everybody
mages.
wants to lock in their main role, but everyone turns out to be a mage main, so it's just okay.
We
Oh,
got
Lord.
a
Oh my
gosh.
a Harith, a Lunox?
Where's the Luoyi is a roam, I'm guessing then, because who is the roam here?
Masha.
Masha's the roam. Harris is gonna be mid, and Lunox is gonna be gold lane, I'm guessing.
I
This is
couldn't
just
tell you
magic damage
anything.
galore. We have Esmeralda, Alice, Yve, Harith, Lunox, Lao Yi. I don't even.
I couldn't tell
I can't
you.
even tell you. I couldn't tell you what I even pick here. I'm gonna flip a coin.
I'd say Israel
Are you
has like the
really?
more balanced comp, of course.
Ping.
5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash
What
them.
did it land on? Heads.
All troops deployed.
Oh lord. Yeah, we're gonna see Harith actually on the XP lane. Yeah, we're right, because Luo Yi is in the game as well. I completely forgot.
Almost. Oh, wow.
Oh man,
Yeah,
we do see that
Linear
Masha-
is in trouble, it seems like.
Yeah, Masha just going in there trying to make him expel that that
Yeah.
retribution. Is he gonna be able to get it? He does. You have to use that retribution, so he's not gonna have it for this first Lethal Wanderer. We're gonna see how well that actually goes in for him. Oh my God, Pogi is already here in there trying to steal the jungle, and I think he was actually able to get it. So it's gonna be good. It means it's gonna stall out how much gold that this X-Borg is gonna be able to get. He's not gonna have his level 4. Oh, see his favorite caught. Oh, my big old caught. Oh, gets taken out, and R is going to be able to get away with that magic of that flicker, able to find himself into safety here. And a good early kill by the side of Insomniacs.
Are they just trying to end the game really fast? Like, I mean, this is like a 3 marksman comp, but now it's a 3 mage comp. Like, I mean, and they have a Franco, so it's not like they'll be able to get 1 mage, but there's 2 more mages you got to worry about.
Absolutely, yeah. It seems like also Insomniacs have a lot of zonal control because of like the abilities from Luo Yi. You have synchrovision from Harith. You know, you can control a lot around the field. You can see that during the Lethal Wanderer fights. It might be slowing down a little bit now, and I feel like the scaling from Ezreal's side could be pretty good later in, but we're just gonna have to wait and see, honestly.
Ooh.
Yeah, we do see a lot of damage coming down onto 123. Not able to take off as fast as he wants to on here. We have the first turtle coming out here. Pogi trying to pull it back all the way to his side. Linear
nice move.
does land onto Ashley. A lot of damage coming down with these yin yangs connecting for the
Oh,
Ashley does
definitely.
get taken out there as well. Chef Teasy coming in here right now. Linear is able to pick up this first turtle, and they get a kill for it as well. So a great first turtle for the side of Ethereal.
You know
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
I said? You know what I said earlier? Like, I want to see some crazy comps, you know, throw the tournament around. That's not what I was thinking, you know? Like, and maybe they're just like, we'll give G something fun. We'll give him something to talk about. 3 mages. I still can't get over it, man. It's absolutely crazy. Both teams are about neck to neck right now. Ooh, private.
Yeah, we do see them going ahead with that teleportation from the
cheeky
ult
teleport.
from Lao Yi. Yeah, I hate that, especially now since you can no longer hear her teleport coming in from the bush.
Yeah.
You can no longer hear it anymore, so it's an immediate surprise. Oh, not quite the patience of Zia, and
Yeah.
then realizing that the crab gave away his
Yeah, they
position.
paused.
Dang
They
it.
paused.
Well, we got.
Yeah, I was actually kind of wondering where these were last game, so we're gonna probably try to make up for that in
Yeah.
this next game.
You see, the last game wasn't exactly 30 minutes, so we're gonna have to make up for it now.
The pause meta's back, boys. The pause
Yeah.
So-
meta is back.
While they were not able to, they didn't get the first kill. They did get the turtle
Oh, Pryor
and the
falling
second
asleep.
kill. You know, that just attacked me out of nowhere. They did get the kill, so they are starting to kind of beef up on the gold right now. It's just going to come down to these next few fights. I feel like they have a lot of late game in some of these compositions, or in both of these compositions. So I mean, it depends on who's going to be scaling faster here. Because both of these I feel are late game. They're both very magic orientated. Linear might play a key role in how fast he's going to be able to burst down some of these guys, but there's a lot of mobility. I feel like X-Borg shines in those slow tankier comps, and that's not what we have here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, so we could take this at like a different approach too. You know, like they got a Lunox that could supplement a gold laner. We've seen it happen. Definitely can be in the gold lane and do tons of damage on what type of comp did they have. They have an Alice, they have an Xborg, they have an Esmeralda, and a Franco. That's 4. I had to count my fingers. That's 4. So I mean that's 4 tanky people that the Lunox could now farm on and do really well. So let's see what they could possibly do here.
Yeah, it's just going to come down to how fast they can kind of negate to call out that brilliance, to bait that out from the Linux, and then try to capitalize on that afterwards, and maybe try to burst her down afterwards. I mean, it's really hard to gank either of these lanes. We do see them kind of waiting here, but there's not really much that they're going to be able to make for it. Hate is in a little bit of trouble. Does get slowed down. Is going to try to get away. In comes 1, 2, 3 on that Alice, but down comes the real world manipulation. Ashley goes down fairly quickly as Yuna might be in a little bit of trouble activating that brilliance now. She is, but down at the bottom, Chef TZ does get ganked. So a great answer by the side of Insomniacs. Even though top was losing, they were able to kind of facilitate another gank down at the bottom, which did cost a Chef TZ a life.
And a tower.
Yeah, that came down very quickly.
Wow.
Oh dear. There it is, the Alice again, and well, it keeps sustaining, but might go down actually. No, still a little bit of hope there. The recent T's are running and taking the Alice out of play. Well, yeah, this is that's a little bit of sustain that they can rely on. These 3 mages, of course, the Thamus and Marsha backing them up, and that could be something good.
Yeah, they're trying to bait out. They're trying to wait out this Carteret Inferno, and now it is ended. Now they're going to go ahead and start putting on the damage, but the turtle is already too late for them to go ahead and capitalize on that. Suppression onto Pogi. He does go down there, but they do pick up the turtle. Pogi gets down with there. R goes down. Yuna tried to come in. Linear might be in trouble. Does get taken out. We do have a very sneaky teleport coming in from Ashley. Is she going to be able to land that? Oh, she does. She takes down Zia's favorite with that yin yang. Chef TZ doing his best to try to get out of the way of that. It is still a 5v5 game. These guys are swinging for the fences. There's no dodging. There's no ducking. They're just standing in the middle of the ring laying haymakers on each other.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots, the good old Mobile Legends legend.
Yeah, everything is pretty much equal right now. The gold is equal, the kills are on par, and so are the towers right now. So everything is everything's pretty much on a clean sheet right now. Zia's favorite trying to find another opportunity to hook someone, but decides to go away after seeing that Marsha there.
Yeah, and the difference here, kind of like as we're seeing from the items here, we have that talisman on the Esmeralda, but when you're being matched up against other, Zia's favorite is going to be a little bit slowed down. There comes the Zaman Force coming down onto the ground, and he does use the suppression as the real world manipulation down is not going to be able to finish them off. Chef TZ is going to have to disengage from there. So now finally we have a little bit of a lead being pulled up by the side of Insomniacs, but only by 1 here, as most of these trades have been pretty even for them, and they do get one more in their advantage here.
Yeah, one thing I see is that R is very much playing with fire in a lot of these positions. He wants to contribute, but he's very low on HP. That was how he died for the first time, and nearly died right now as well. And Harith obviously relies on farm a lot, and there goes Loyi, and actually that could be opening something for Ethereal. Now they have very much crowded the jungle of Insomniacs.
I feel like this is just a very much a fun game for both of these teams. Another hook does land. Suppression on the Pogi, who is going to have to disengage. We do see that Carteret Inferno from the Thamus get activated a little early, though, so he's not going to have it for this turtle fight. And I'm not sure if they know. Here comes 1, 2, 3, does latch into there right now. Lao Yi coming in from the bush. He's going to be able to land some of these yin yang. Chef TZ trying to disengage here. Turtle does get picked up by Linear, so they have a lot of tankiness. Hate and the rest of Insomniacs are trying to disengage. This might not be the fight that they want. A hook just a little too early to be able to take out that Linux as she comes out of the Brilliance ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, the Air Force came down like Ashley with the ultimate, but it was kind of toothless there. And I mean, there is the Zia's favorite pretty well positioning and disengaging, getting that health back with Franco is not too hard, honestly. If you play it right, you can pretty much regen like Uranus. And that's what he's playing for. And look at that teleport into the middle, actually. They play around Zia's favorite. That was pretty smart there. Ash Cutie loses a life there. It's going to be maybe Zia's favorite as well going down, but no. There is the Esmeralda's response to FTZ. Doing a good job. Pogi, no match against all of that firepower there.
Yeah, and that's the problem here with using such a squishy composition, is that you saw that Esmeralda coming in with that falling star moon, and here comes Chef Teasy still trying to put onto the pressure. It's just the team is so squishy, especially with the shield that Harith gets in his ultimate.
Yeah.
Chef Teasy is trying to chase him out as Hate is going to go ahead and secure a disengage for his teammate.
Yeah, Harry's got the Pharaoh as well now. He can do much more damage with the enhanced basic attacks, which also benefit from the skill too, of course. So it's gonna be real gnarly to play against him anyway. Of course, R takes a lot of risks, and he can be picture part there, but I think it's going to be very crucial later on into the game, because Harith has a lot of burst, and I mean we've seen him in the meta for a while. He has been fallen out of it for a few seasons, but there were times when he was there for several seasons, and for a reason. There it is, it just skips past all of them, but Zia lands the suppress, and Dark could be going down. No, still gets the shield, still gets away, maybe no. There is already Linear in place, and Linear himself finds himself in a lot of trouble now. Pogi on his back. Linear still has that immortality to save him for a second, but that health regen won't be too much, and he will oh, that's a tough fight.
Oh, wow. And then here comes 1, 2, 3 in for the save. The Brilliance has been activated up at the top as Judah is trying to make their escape. I don't know if they're going to be able to secure this Lord. Oh, 1, 2, 3 is going to go ahead and dive into there. So they do have vision on this Lord. Not sure that they're in a position to try and contest it right now. We do see the Xborg very low. Not sure if he's going to want to keep on going for it. He does. Coming into that bush. I don't know if you want this fight. The rest of Insomniacs start crashing in here as 1, 2, 3 cannot reach into there. Linear trying to do his best to run away. Falling Moonstar does come on to Hate as they are all over the map. Ashley goes down right now. This Lord is down to 1/3 health, and in a great position right now is Ethereal. They're trying to burst it down as Franco gets taken out. Pogi able to secure this first Lord, and they are on the chase. Ash Cutie has nowhere to run, is able to get a little bit of a speed boost from that first ability. But man, what a bad state as 2 members of Ethereal are taken down along with that Lord, going over in favor of Insomniacs.
Yeah, the Ethereal's draft just looks more well composed, honestly. I mean, looking at how good of a job Chef C's actually does zoning out Hitiza as well. I saw that especially during that fight. You know, tries to keep an eye on that mouse shot. You know, to stop him from jumping on all of these allies. You know, eyes who are very easy to kill by mouse shot.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Side turner.
Yeah, we're going to see how well that they can balance out with this. I feel like we're kind of a little loose and willy-nilly with some of this. We should not have allowed Allow Yi to be able to teleport to that middle bush. Yeah, Ari gets taken out at the top, and down at the bottom, Linear able to solo down this Lord. So a great position for the side of Ethereal here right now. Oh my God, look at those yin yangs connecting for Ashley over there.
Doesn't really care.
They're not checking these bushes right now. Zia's favorite is going to get mopped up here. Brilliance is activated. He's not going to be able to go anywhere. We did see, oh no, tried to save him right there with that real world manipulation, but Hate was in the way and is going to pay for that with his life, I think.
Oh, look at 1, 2, 3 on the chase, gets the orb down. No, Hitiza somehow still getting away, regens the health. The chase continues on. There's another battle going on. Linear actually dies in the center, but 1, 2, 3 still sustaining, but finally goes down. There's just too much damage. She can soak up all of it. Yeah.
Wow.
What a play there. I cannot believe that Hate was able to survive that. Just turned on the brakes, whoop, right back into his team, and then into the Lao Yi yin yangs. And those are becoming, now that we're starting to get in the mid and late game, they're becoming a lot more dangerous, a lot more powerful. And not just that, but they're starting to really capitalize on the ultimates from Lao Yi.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they do a good job, you know, moving around the map with it, and they mounted several surprises actually. especially playing Zia's favorite out of a situation, you know, where he should be present. And Heitiza not very sure what's going on here, but finally notices all of them. It's all going down now. And Pogi, well, he's in the center of it. He tries to soak up all the damage and sustain from Linear as well. But here comes in 1, 2, 3 already doing what he does best. Gets the stun down, but Yu gets the 7th kill already. It's so crazy.
Wow. Harith able to escape there. We did see that Alice dove way back into the back line to go ahead and latch on to Ashley. Able to pick up that kill there right now. We do see that Yoon coming in with brilliance. Is it going to be enough? R! Look at that falling star moon coming down. R goes down as well. And are they going to be able to chase away that thunderclap? Does latch on to Ash Cutie, and now they are trying to chase on to Chef. It is now a 3v3 still as this Luminous Lord, they're looking to get a good position for this Luminous Lord. It's not 3v3 actually, it's 3v4 now because Lao Yi just came back up. Wow.
Yeah, Lord has been melted. Well, the Linear is still fighting for that blue buff, but he's gonna be taken out very soon if he continues on extending like that, but gets away with it, so all good right now. And well, Pogi is testing the grounds together with Ashley there. The yin yangs, they do hurt, especially if they're forcing, you know, if they're forcing them to scrunch up together. It's going to be really tough to fight against that from Ethereal's side.
I feel like these next few pushes are really going to state whether or not this game is going to be ending in the next few minutes. It depends on how, like we said, how it looks like they're not even going to be able to make it. Oh, we do have a teleport coming in there,
nice
so they
teleport.
are being. Yeah, but unfortunately, none of the team members really in the way.
Nobody was
just
there,
kind of
right on the mid lane.
Yeah, we see R kind of, we do that. Zayman Force does come down for the Harith. Real world manipulation coming down here as Poggy taking a brunt of the damage. R gets taken out as well. Suppression onto the Thamus. He does get taken down. That's 2 kills unanswered for the side of Ethereal right now as the rest of Insomniacs are on the run, trying to get away. Chef Teasy doing his best to chase down Hate right now, but this is 3 health bars of Hate that you're going to be having to compete with. Yuna comes in for the answer. Chef Teasy gets burst down, and now Yuna in a little bit of trouble here as we do see 1, 2, 3 is trying to latch on Yuna. Oh, we do have a suppression from that from that ability right there. Linear is gonna have to disengage right now, does get taken out there right now. It is a 2, we just had 2 people out right now for the side of Ethereal. Hate, ew, just misses with that hook from the Franco, but down he goes with the help of the real world manipulation.
Yeah, that was a crazy exchange, and actually it's not the first time Zia did a crazy mistake there. Once you know, they exited the bush where they poured it to Insomniacs. Zia actually missed an opportunity to also hook Yoon and even suppress, and then after that, Chef Z had to recover. You know, had to chase them away, and well, kinda.
The cheeky teleport, and it is a cheeky one. Yeah, no, I mean, what we're seeing here is just like it's some unusual gameplay, a lot of absolute back and forth battles, you know, like
it's a very open game as well. No
duel on the Insomniacs. Whoa, Prime.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming down onto the back line there. Yuna gets taken out by a falling star moon and real world manipulation. Zayman Force has been activated for the Harith as he is dashing in and out, but they are ready to disengage. It is a 1-for-1 trade for both teams here as 9 seconds left on this next Luminous Lord.
Yeah, just Ethereal falling back. They don't want to involve themselves in too many fights, and it's obvious that Masha as well close to being full build, and it's soon very tough to get rid of her, even for Chefsy to push her back. That's a very difficult challenge.
Yeah, we see them kind of toying around, jockeying for position. Real world manipulation coming down, maybe a little early. Oh, R gets taken out in a surprise amount of damage. 1, 2, 3 flickers in with that suppression of that, and then we see the falling star moon comes in, taking down Ashley. This might be the fight that Ethereal wants. Second health bar is down. Hate is trying to disengage, but they need to turn their attention to this Lord. Alice is throwing out that ball, trying to clear out these bushes here right now at the top, and immobilize onto Yoon, and that brilliance has been activated. Look at all the damage in here. We have the last insanity comes out. He is able to pick up the Lord with that, and this is just a singular fight that they needed to turn the tide. We do have a suppression from Poggy. Is he going to be able to get away? The real world manipulation is able to catch him up, and this is just the opening that Ethereal were looking for.
Hey, Teza goes on, tried to pick up Ash Cutie, but Zia was faster on the suppress, and Teza gonna be taken out there. No chance for her to recover the health pass. And there it is. And Ethereal suddenly turning it around, and this is now all comes crashing down. The Lord comes marching in as well.
They need to end it.
Yeah,
here.
we do. Yeah, we have a suppression. Does come out. Unit does get taken down. No, he isn't. They have a brilliance. Does get activated there, but we have minions here at the middle. Look at all these yin yangs being splashed out. Ashley in a lot of trouble. Does get taken down by the real world manipulation. 1, 2, 3 gets taken out, but this is a
the
tower
Lord is still unscathed.
The Lord is still not stopping. Still at half health. Look at all that damage onto Yuna, as right now the suppression does land onto R. Is he gonna be able to get taken out? Linner in a little bit.
The Lord is free
has
to
a
go.
little bit of health left. This is not what you fight that you want. He doesn't have his immortality left. He gets taken down by this Quadrant Inferno of this damage.
Look at the sustain.
Look at the damage right now. Run, Ashley. Oh no, and this is not the fight that you wanted. They had such an advantage right now. Look at the minions down at the bottom. They are going to be putting on a lot of, look at that. Are they going to be able to stop at a time? They're not. And up at the top too, they have minions, but I don't think that these minions are focused on the tower. The other minions were able to get in the way fast enough before they were able to lock and get the aggro onto the tower. So right now it is it's 2 towers versus 2 towers, two inhibitors versus the one that they still have left, and Lao Yi is clearing out the rest of that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, Yoon Cutie is definitely the MVP for Insomniacs here. Just absolutely dominating. And this is what I was saying from the very beginning. Like, the Lunox is going to be able to eat away at all of these heroes that just are built tanky. And we've seen a lot of teleport plays, but we haven't seen anything that's gonna like blow my socks off. So I definitely gotta give it to Yoon right now. I don't know, man. This is again anybody's game.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I mean, yeah, go on.
Well, they've been catching. Oh, there it goes. Hate gets caught, but that is not. Nope. That's not who you want. I know you latch onto there. You can retreat. You don't need to latch on it. They weren't even able to take off 1 health bar. Oh, we do have a teleport coming into the back line. Look at 1, 2, 3. He's just sitting there waiting for them to come in. Here comes the real world manipulation. They were prepared for Ashley. Unfortunately, for Ashley, in a little bit of trouble, is trying to run away. Activates that sprint. Is trying to slow down Hate right now. Look at the mid lane as they are chasing down right now. That Zaman Force has gone down, but he is too far away from it to capitalize on all of those dashes. Down comes the Falling Star Moon, gonna take advantage of all of that shield, and they are trying to burst down. There's fights everywhere right now. Hate get popped up and taken down right now. This next Lord is definitely gonna be going over. Yeah. They don't notice Pogue inside of this bush right now, but it does look like he's gonna go ahead and teleport back home because oh no, he's not. I don't know what's going on. They are waiting right now. They're gonna take up this Lord. I don't know if Pogue's actually.
There's only 2 of them. But yeah, 1, 2, 3 is rotating over. I don't think he dares to challenge it, honestly. He does get Queen's Wings recently. He can sustain a lot longer with Queen's Wings, but I don't think... Well, he takes it on. I mean, he had a 1-on-3 fight earlier, but he's trying. He's heroic. He's still trying. Did he get the Lord? No, he did not. Oh.
Yeah, he had the Quadrant Inferno out before the suppression came out, so it was a chance, but and a good effort by the Thamus, but just not enough there. Look at the damage that Ashton's taking just from Chef TZ. You don't usually get that much damage because you usually are working with such tanky compositions, but with him able to come in on there, but here comes the real world manipulation, going to be trying to zone out. Here comes the brilliance right now. Zia's favorite does flicker in there. I'm not sure. We have the immortality coming out, a lot of damage coming out, and here comes the Lord. Is this going to be the first victory for Ethereal? They take it here tonight in their inaugural first series victory. GG, Ethereal.
Beautiful.
I mean, from the very beginning, so many mage picks by the side of Insomniacs was kind of sus, you know? Like, I was like, I don't know, dude. That's just not the comp I would pick.
Another record-breaking game. I think we saw 5 Radiant Armors, you know, so much mages, 6 mages all around.
I know that wasn't the most technically sound game that really gave us an example of the comps or the meta and stuff like that. But it was a fun game, and you can tell that both of these teams were having fun playing it. And honestly, it's something. It's especially with some of these picks. I mean, when's the last time you saw a Harith out on the field?
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a fun match to watch. But congratulations to Ethereal. Just as we started coming into the late game, especially a great read by 1-2-3 there for that teleport from Lao Yi. That was ridiculous. Yeah, it just automatically, as soon as you saw that, Lao Yi tried to come in there, but 1-2-3 was ready on that Alice, came in there, burst them down, then came the real world manipulation. They had a little bit of trouble toward the beginning, toward the mid, with Ash Cutie getting caught. Those real world manipulations would come, and then just as soon as they came down, they would come back up again because Hate would start charging in there. So they started waiting more for themselves to kind of have an opening for it, which is really what kind of helped them in that last engagement there, is that those last few engagements where Ash Cutie just wasn't really getting caught anymore. So she was able to lay down that ultimate, able to put down the damage and take down people like Ashley, able to take down R, and it was basically the game saver for them, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, GG's. Definitely some crazy games. That does end the night. Ethereal taking home the first 2 dubs of the series. Absolutely crazy. All of this games today have been action packed and just been intensely long.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we didn't see the 3 30-minute games, but we definitely saw very entertaining ones.
Yeah, two best of 3 series is you can't argue with that. And especially this last one, it was pretty intense. Both these, I like that both teams were comfortable enough to kind of loosen up a bit with some of their picks. They saw 3 mages on there, they're like, oh yeah, we'll do 3 mages too. Screw it, let's go, balls to the wall. And ended up with Ethereal on top, and you couldn't ask for a better close of the night there.
No, exactly. Well, that being the last game of the night, GG's Ethereal. Thanks for everybody that was tuning in. Make sure check out the GoFundMe, support the channel as much as you can, support the 3 amazing casters, including myself. You know, you can find all of our socials inside of the links in the side of the description of the YouTube. Do you guys have any last says? No?
Well, tune in for the upcoming weeks. Obviously, the season is still going in strong, so we expect to see you guys soon. Tune in for the streams as well, and bye from us then.
All right.
Yeah, it's been a great week, a great comeback for a great reset back into the squad league. It's a weekly thing here, Saturday and Sundays. We're gonna keep going until I think we still have a month and a half left of this until the probably about a month until the playoffs. We're about halfway through now. Really excited. We came back strong now, and this is all part of a plan to kind of keep NA rolling with events here non-stop for your guys' entertainment. And I'm really excited to be a part of it. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for our night here.
right.
So
yeah,
see you guys
Bye-bye.
next weekend.
Cheers.